What up? That's how I'm doing it. Welcome to Loud Noises, an alternative podcast. I'm trying to start new ways. I'm not too sure. I will say hello. I don't want to do it. Anyway, welcome to Loud Noises podcast, an alternative music podcast, where we talk about alternative music, whatever that may be. I'm Badger. Here's Gareth.
What's up?
Yeah, what up?
Yeah.
And Paul.
That's a thing.
What is up?
What is up, my friends?
Badger's midlife crisis. That is what's up.
Isn't this entire podcast a midlife crisis?
Well, if my midlife is 34, then I'm going to be dead by 68.
We all know how we live.
I'm going to say, the way you eat and drink.
Sounds about right, yeah, to be fair.
We have made poor decisions.
The math works out.
You feel bad. I'm 26.
Sounds, mate. Well, I'm older than you, so I'll still be dead before you. Maybe just 'cause I'm so excited, though, because this episode we've got a cool-ass interview with Dan from Pressure Cracks, who very kindly came on for a chat. We talked about Pressure Cracks' new EP and how that band started, and also the fact they do music for haunted houses, apparently, and how he got robbed some crisps in Milton Keynes. It's a great interview. If you want to jump to that right now, I'll put a timestamp in the description. I'm pointing down like you can see me, but you can't. So I'm just pointing down my crotch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. I really appreciate Dan for coming on. But if you want to stick around, we've got news as always. We're going to talk about new music as well from Creeper, Billy Talent, Hayley Williams, and the new album from Higher Power. And also we've got a live review of Petrol Girls. That's all going to blaze. We're all going to talk about that. And if you want to jump around, there's be time stamps in the description, as I mentioned, for all of that. If you want to just jump around. Or you can just be normal and listen to it in the way we mean it to be, the linear fashion of a podcast.
The well-structured, planned out, completely coherent, definitely non-rambling.
With seamless intros. Where I definitely knew what I was going to say before I started the podcast. No improv or winging it.
Do you remember that time you started the podcast with, what up?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was embarrassing, right? I never did that again. What up, guys? It's one of the cool podcasts, dude.
This is not your vlog.
Just American podcasts make it sound so easy. When you're awkward and British, it's so much more difficult. Talking about awkward and British, Paul's going to do the news.
What? Huh? What up?
Go on, do the news. Go on, take us in, bring us some of that tasty, fresh news that may or may not be a few days old.
It's so tasty and fresh. Yeah, some of it's a few days old. But the big news
Flick the mould off.
for this week. So the first big... God, I can't even speak this week. I don't know what's wrong with me. Podcasts. Speaking words and stuff. First big bit of news this week. 2000 Trees finally announced more than one band.
Yay! You made it, guys. Took you a while, but you made it.
Badger didn't complain once.
No, I didn't complain multiple times on this podcast.
No.
Ever. I don't know what I was talking about. I happily waited patiently for this announcement. Yes.
Bullshit.
Sorry, what?
Bullshit is what I said.
Oh, okay. I misheard you for a second. I thought you sneezed. Go on then. Go on. Give us the highlights of this sweet announcement.
Yeah, there's some good highlights on this one. So again, I'm not going to go through every band. You can find the lineup online. But the big ones for me would be Creeper, Get Up Kids, Knock Loose, Dream State, Rome. We've got St. Pierre, Snake Invasion on there. Chapter and Verse, Ithaca, We Never Learn to Live, Cassell's, tons of bands. For their initial big lineup announcement, this is pretty good.
It's pretty solid for
the
first announcement.
Pretty damn good,
Surprising we haven't got any new headliners, but can't be disappointed with the quantity that they spat out.
I feel like this is like... Obviously, Jimmy Will was announced a while ago as one of the main headliners.
Put a lot of stock into that, aren't they?
They did put a lot of stock into that. I wonder if that's because there maybe other headliners are just either holding them for reserve to like get people hooked later, or if those headliners are busy doing something else so they can't announce them yet.
Obviously, they're waiting for My Chemical Romance tickets to sell out for their solo dates, so they can announce them at least.
Yeah, 100%. Them and Rammstein, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the kind of festival it is.
Solid.
Yeah. No, but this first announcement is pretty fucking tasty. I mean, obviously, it's got our favourites of the current. We Never Learn to Live on there, the boys and the girls and all the betweens. Not Loose as a smashing band. I mean, you got classics like Paul said, Get Up Kids and stuff. I don't know who the Amazons are, if I'm totally honest.
Not what
Yeah,
I recognise.
this is my issue this normally happens to 2000 Trees where, yeah, don't get me wrong, they'll have a fantastic lineup normally and there'll be great bands on there which I'll recognise instantly, but then there'll be bands listed very high which I have never either heard of or listened to. So Amazon's never heard of or listened to. Dinosaur Pilot, I mean, I've heard of them.
That name gets like
it's
about.
everywhere.
Yeah, Dinosaur Pilot gets about, and I always thought they were like a really old rock band. But I think
You're thinking of Dinosaur Jr.
I think I am thinking of Dinosaur Jr. But whatever. Silverstein as well as another one that's on there that they're knocking about still, which is interesting. So,
Yeah, but I think that's also, though, a credit to how they book their bands and the contrast and mixture. And like from people I know who have come away being massive fans of bands they just stumbled across the 2000 Trees. So I think it's a big credit to the festival for having quite a wide variety going on.
I did see something about this where someone like blacked out certain bands in the poster to highlight that this lineup is the most gender neutral like mix of all that kind of stuff.
Oh, sweet.
The lineup has been for possibly ever.
Yeah.
So that's fucking cool as well.
Yeah, totally.
And so it's just 2000 Trees is actually smashing again this year with just a very diverse mixed lineup.
Yeah.
And sadly I missed last year and kind of would hope I get to go this year, but I don't think anyone wants to go with me.
You're going to have to accept defeat that you're not going to be able to go this year, probably.
Probably, because I've got no friends to go with me. So unless I go in a field on my own. Or, if 2000 Trees you want to give me media pass, that's also totally fine.
We are
it's
not
for the
media.
Podcast. It's for the podcast. It's fine. We use pressure cracks. We're up there now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
We promise that we'll be somewhat sober.
I mean,
we can guarantee. We can guarantee at least one of us will be.
Okay.
Isn't that good enough? One out of three's not bad.
Okay, we need 2 press passes. One for Paul who's sober and me just to be there. Thank you.
And then what we
What am I coming in fucking luggage?
No, you're not coming. You're not asked. You said.
I mean, I am asked if it's, a freebie.
No. It's just me and Paul. We decided. It's only 2 press passes.
Hey, if we're blagging things, put my name down.
But no, yeah, it looks like another. I'm very intrigued to see what the other bands are, and especially the headliners. So we'll see. Probably have to wait another 3 months, but we'll find out.
Probably.
Can't wait. Yeah. Next.
Well, there's still got another week's worth of scheduled posts about Jimmy Eat World to go through yet.
Oh yeah. No, I remember that they did. I think the lineup was announcement was imminent because they started running out of I think they did a retrospective discography of Jimmy Eat World.
Right.
And they got to the last album, they were like, we're running out of Jimmy Eat World albums.
Should probably
There's
announce
a
some
lineup. Next, they'll do a Creeper discography and an Amazon discography, a Dinosaur Pilot discography. So in 4 months, the day before 2003, they'll announce the rest of the lineup.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
great festival.
No, it is a great festival. I'm not sure if I'll make it to this one. I'll have to see around that time. But yeah, if I can go, I will go.
This is the thing. I really want to go 2003 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly just experiencing it. It looks like just an amazing festival to attend.
Yeah.
One of the reasons it's going to stop me from doing that is the thing we're going to talk about next. Segue.
Which involves poor financial decisions.
Yes.
Yes,
So
talking
next.
of poor financial decisions, My Chemical Romance officially announced, obviously, we talked about it last week, they announced their date for their UK show.
I think last time we recorded, they were just teasing it. So last time we recorded, they did the teaser video with the symbols and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we spent time trying to decipher that. On Monday this week, they put the date out with I think the tweet and the Facebook post here's an offering, and it was a long ass video of a bloke walking around in a wood, and then is that bloke from the poster, and then it just said Milton Keynes and then the date, and then nothing really happened until yesterday when they went every band member tweeted out, and then all the ticket sites went, oh yeah, it's going on sale at 9:30 tomorrow. If you're eager, thirsty bitches like me and Gareth,
don't out us.
I fucking out on us, mate. On Monday, we were digging around the internet trying to find out when these tickets went on sale, and we found out on Monday. So we did 5 days of prep work for this. But if you're a lazy bastard or just a normal human being, you wouldn't have found out till last night. Yeah. So
I mean, if you really want to dig down into how thirsty we were, hotels were booked before they were officially announced they were playing. Pretty thirsty.
Got a good deal though.
Great deal. So obviously, well, as we know now, officially June the 20th was their show. That sold out in minutes.
Yep.
So they've added another one, which at the time of recording I don't think it's sold out, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, if it's
I'll tell you now.
not sold out, I'm assuming we're talking either VIP, a few handful of VIP, or maybe just some seats which nobody wants to sit in, probably available.
Just to put into so this is at MK Stadium, Milton Keynes Stadium,
Yes.
where I was born. Not in the stadium, I was born in Milton Keynes. That's a fact. You can take that. Do with what you will.
I thought you were born on the stage.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
This gig, it's time travel. It's weird. So yeah, the first gig sold, but the venue itself is, if I remember correctly, it's 300,000 capacity.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's fucking massive, and they sold that out within. The first gig sold out within a couple of minutes, and looking at it now, I'm looking at C tickets, and the second date seems to have also sold out.
Yeah, I'm on Ticketmaster, and the only tickets left on there are the Platinum and VIP packages.
Yeah.
So minimum 195 quid.
Yeah.
So if you really want to watch My Chemical Romance, you better get a bank loan.
Yeah. I think you mentioned this with the VIP packages, didn't you, the other day, where it's like, what is it, 190 quid, and you get...
Mm-hmm.
Early entry in a t-shirt.
Yeah. No, I think normal standing tickets are about 80 quid.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to justify as not being too bad. A lot of people will disagree with me, but I paid the money, so I'm going to say it's fine. Just to vindicate that to myself. But yeah, 190 quid for you get in there early so you can stand around longer and get a t-shirt.
Yeah. Let's face
Buy
it,
a
people.
t-shirt.
Me and Badger have overpaid by doing the bog standard. Don't pay more.
Yeah. But no.
But yeah, we actually did. Apologies to anyone who didn't manage to get a ticket. Me and Badger fortunately did, by sheer panic and anxiety and stressful situations with many a group chat, and many a different phone going for it.
I'm not even that asked.
No,
That's the irony of it.
Maybe an offer. I've got a ticket going.
I only like one song.
But I always find it a little bit frustrating. I always feel bad for a lot of people when they do this. So it's like, additional date added due to phenomenal demand. Like, literally the minute after they'd sold out, that went out. And we all, I'm sure obviously it was already planned to do a second date, and maybe they said, I'm not sure how it works, maybe they're like, if it sells out in this much time, then yes, confirm it, we will do it. But there's poor bastards who stressed and went, fuck, we can't get standing. Fuck, we can't get a ticket close to the stage. Right, fuck it. Well, I don't care the price. I need to go to this one-off gig.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm in the furthest away I can carry these
right
shit
at the
seats.
back. Yeah.
And you pay that amount, and the only money you have for those tickets, and then a minute later they go, everything's on sale again. We're playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's a fucking kick to the dick. That.
I was thinking this today, because obviously you see this happen a lot with bands like this and gigs like this, where one day it'll sell out and they add another day, and normally though it's maybe a few hours afterwards or maybe a day after they kind of go, fuck me lads, calm down, we'll do another one, and then you kind of another one will be on sale next Friday, so everyone goes, right, we've got a week to get the next one. Whereas this was fuck it, sold out, go again straight away, don't fucking break. Don't give
Even
me a
though
chance.
you just spent all the money you did have available to now
really
get shit seats right at the back.
I think the fact that they didn't even really advertise the sale of this first one, and it went off the fucking tits, and they expect people to automatically jump on the second one. It's fucking hell, guys, give people a fucking chance, lads.
Well,
Bloody
when
hell.
your options to see them, if you're in the vicinity of the UK, and then pretty largely outside of that, your next closest gig is what, Japan?
I'm sure they're playing Europe somewhere, aren't they?
No, it's New Zealand, Australia, and Japan are the next gigs they got covered up.
Yeah. No, I think as well,
It's quite a large area.
I was thinking, my main thing was they obviously knew, or the promoters or someone knew, because they must to hire out a venue that size, you've kind of got to organise that in advance. You can't be we sold out in a minute, can we have the venue next day? Yeah, sure, no problem, boom, we'll sell on sale. Some thing was going well, just in case it does sell. Yeah. I mean, someone sat there going, it will sell out, but just in case, we better hire it out. You just feel maybe some kind of, to put it on sale that fast, and it was already there, and I just feel it's a bit kind of tight on people.
Well, I said, don't get wrong. We're excited about this. I'm chuffed that we managed. Yes, I'm chuffed that we managed to get it down. I do feel bad because I feel like this must have royally fucked over some people.
Yeah, probably.
And it just comes with the territory of dealing with these fucking massively big gigs. But it hurts a bit. I do feel bad for people because people
On
got
the
screwed
plus
over in
side-
this one.
I'll say on the plus side for anyone who did miss out on this and you wanted to go. My Chemical Romance are doing these one-off shows, this reunion tour of sorts, and yeah, you'll miss out on this reunion show. But this band is not gonna fuck off again. They will tour. They will release an album. There's been people looking at posters and saying there's like hidden messages for the fifth album.
And the teaser video apparently alluded to like new
fifth
music
album and stuff.
But
don't be too bummed out because they will just tour and they'll be probably playing a lot closer than Milton Keynes to where you live. Unless you live in Milton Keynes, then you'll probably just have to go to London or Birmingham. So
okay.
don't. But a lot of tours do go to
Fucking
Birmingham.
love Birmingham.
Yeah.
Man for it.
I'm indifferent to it. But yeah, it's one of those like you'll miss out on this one thing, but there'll be plenty of the times and you'll probably see them in a smaller venue which is slightly better. But we're going, so fuck it. I'm just gonna go get drunk.
and not remember that.
Yep. I remember thank you for the venom. Unless the bass has a flamethrower, I'll probably forget the rest.
Is that your go-to now?
Yep. Because I've seen something with a flamethrower, that's all I want from every gig I ever go to.
That's the standard.
Yep, that's the standard.
That's fair.
Looking at you every time I die on Sunday.
Moving on.
Anyway. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Next.
So, sad news. Because we love dropping sad news on you all. Ozzy Osbourne. So we know he's had a few health issues in the past. Obviously, he had to cancel a tour due to recovering from injuries that he'd sustained. Turns out that this week he announced that he's actually suffering from a form of Parkinson's, which is not good to hear. Luckily, from what I understand, there's kind of two versions of Parkinson's disease, and luckily the one that he's suffering for isn't the most life-threatening version.
It's classed as a mild form of Parkinson's. It's still fucking Parkinson's. Like, it's not to be taken lightly, but he is fortunate that he has a milder version at the moment. But it does mean that it doesn't lead to him cancelling everything. He still plans on doing the No More Tours tour. That's what it's called.
It's No More Tours Tour 2.
The
second one he's done. The second No More Tours tour.
Yeah.
Legend. I mean, only Ozzy. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but no. So he, I think they initially found this out because he had an injury last New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Like about a year and a bit ago, where he had a bad fall, had some surgery on his neck, and he thought that was causing nerve pain. But after further checks, it turns out, he's suffering from the Parkinson's disease. So yeah, it's sad to see. Obviously, Osbourne is a legend. So
I want to intersect because if you're by chance listening to this on YouTube, I feel Paul's picture choice might need some explanation.
Oh, Ozzy's chuffed.
We're talking about some sad news and Paul's picture. The happiest Ozzy Osbourne picture you probably ever existed on the internet.
I mean, it's a sad story. I didn't want a sad picture.
No,
I agree, Paul.
It's better to see someone going through this and just like remember that they're happy at some point in their lives. Try and look at the positives. I guess
you got to remember though, this isn't like.
I mean, it'd be better than like a sad Ozzy
when
picture.
you look at people with Parkinson's,
it's not us being insensitive.
Yeah,
it's just a happy picture is better than a sad picture.
Yeah,
but like think of like people like Billy Connolly or Michael J. Fox, the more famous like people out there who have Parkinson's. Their lives aren't over. They can still go on. It's not the
They can still do tours. No more tours.
Yes, of course. It's like it's a horrible thing to happen to anyone, but he's able to go on leading a pretty damn good life still. It's just one of those unfortunate things that come with age, I guess. And it's also one of those things where you're just like, I'm still surprised he's not dead. So Ozzy, he can crack on and do what he wants, and he's gonna. I
mean, I'd say Ozzy, and no one related to Ozzy will ever listen to this, but good to you, mate. Hope you be all right. I mean, you've already lived longer than you probably should have. Well done.
Yeah.
Keep going, mate. I would love. I really. At the age I am, you see people fucking who you look up to as a kid and stuff go all the time. So it's nice to see Ozzy still plugging away at it. Go on, mate. Have it.
Yeah, as we say, he's a legend, and it's good to see that he's still cracking on. And hopefully he's doing it for years to come.
Yep, true that.
Yeah.
Or just chills out for a couple of years.
I mean, yeah, that too. I think we've said it in the past. Like, if anyone deserves to have a nice retirement, it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
So I just wanted to chill out for a bit.
Yeah. If you go watch Ozzy Osbourne now, don't get me wrong, you'll have fun watching him. But then if someone turned around and went, if he just fucked up now and just had a really nice time just not performing, would you be happy? Like, yeah, look at him. Just go lie down, mate. Chill out. Enjoy your life.
He's had what was one of the first Black Sabbath albums, like the 60s.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's had a fucking... He's been plugging at it for fucking years. Have a sit down, mate. I mean, he probably has lots of sit downs, but like, have a long sit down.
Yeah.
Have a
Maybe
lie down.
10 years or so.
Just have a serious snooze. Don't worry about it, mate.
Sounds like you're saying, like...
No, don't that.
Yeah.
Not that. Let's be like a good nap and then
Okay.
wake up refreshed.
Yeah. A normal nap, not a dirt nap.
Yeah. No. A normal snooze on a Sunday after a big roast.
Yeah.
Look at his
kind of
happy little face. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's got this.
Yeah. Look at him. He's so happy. Oh, you know what he's so happy about? Probably this next tour announcement because it's fucking killer.
nap. Oh.
Segways.
You and I'm going to leave all the segues to you because
I know, right?
So good at them.
It's like going through a turnstile, isn't it?
I fucking hate
Don't
you.
make me gag.
I fucking hate you so much. Turnstile have announced the tour. Well done.
Yeah.
I am one step closer to Glitterer. What?
So, no, you ruined it. We did talk about this. They announced, I think, since we've only got one tour post here, but there's like been the whole Euro tour announced.
Yeah.
So last week, I think we talked about they played
It's like one German date or something like that.
one Germany
Yeah.
date last week, and now they've announced a run of UK shows and some European dates, which we've not sadly got in front of us right now.
Yeah, no. So I've just got the UK dates for now. But 5 dates, sorry. So you've got 9th of March. Manchester Academy 2.
Yeah.
10th is Bristol Trinity Centre. 11th is Glasgow Garage. 12th Birmingham The Mill. And then London is ULU.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that is. Yeah, so this is Turnstile, Gag, One Step Closer, and Glitterer. Which I think were the European supports anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mum, I'm assuming you guys are going to the Manchester date?
100%. Yeah. It's sort of in a way where My Chemical Romance did this, where they just didn't say when tickets were going to go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Turnstile did the same thing. So obviously that Germany date got announced. And I was like, last week, like, I hope they announce a British show. That would be cool. My mate just sent me the Facebook event, like, the next day. I was like,
Yeah.
You what? I was like, is this an actual event? It's like, yeah. Tickets go on sale on Monday. It was not announced. I went on the Facebook page every day, trying so I could send this for the podcast and do, like, we could talk about it and stuff. I think the tour post went up, like, 2 days ago, but tickets went on sale last Monday. So it's like no one fucking knew about this tour.
If you know, you know.
If you know, that's it. If you know, you know. You just gotta accidentally either find the event or just be lucky. And it's so weird, especially for like a band like My Chemical Romance. Yeah, you're gonna get people who just dig around for the shit. But a band like Turnstile, and no discredit to that band or the size or whatever else, but you're not gonna be actively looking for Turnstile just happening to be playing your town because then there's no word about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know how my mate found the fucking event. He just sent it to me. I was like, you taking the piss?
It's like, is this real?
I'm
yeah,
fucking
no.
psyched.
Mm-hmm.
I think as soon as the tickets went on sale, 10 a.m. on Monday, I was like, boom, Turnstile tickets, buzzing. I cannot wait to see this band again. Fucking amazing live.
They are so good live. I think they were one of my highlights of last year. They played Slam Dunk.
Yes.
And I loved them like so much. I've seen them a few times. I think I saw them the year before Outbreak as well.
Yeah.
Every single time I've seen them, they're just nothing but like positive, high energy, hardcore, and I love it.
Yeah.
So I might try and if there's still tickets, I might try and pick some up for the Manchester date and come over.
You should do.
So I'm
It'd be
staying in your spare room.
glorious.
Haha.
Yeah, please.
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 Okay.
Just to
Stay in
be
my spare room.
just to be a Turnstile, and I just encourage anyone to see Turnstile live. If you've not heard them, check them out. The last album, Time and Space, was fucking amazing, and just the energy on stage is that just the vibe in the room just makes you feel good. I feel like,
yeah,
it's just fucking buzzing. I can't wait to see these guys again. I'm so excited for it, and also it's the fact that it's like they announced this in January and the gigs at the beginning of March, so I don't even have to wait that long. So excited.
I mean, I wish I had more time to wait because I've blown the next 3 months' budget because I'm going to see fucking My Chemical Romance. So
I'm very glad I bought this before I bought My Chemical Romance tickets. My credit card is not happy.
We'll see. Maybe close to the time I might get lucky and be able to jump on this one. Yeah. But if not, I'm sure I'll hear all the wonderful things off you guys.
I'm just generally going to check if tickets. I mean, I imagine tickets will still be available. It's saved in my bookmarks. Yeah, tickets are still available for the Manchester show. So
cool.
Academy 2. It's a pretty big venue.
I might have to just have a cry over that one.
Mm-hmm. Generally, fucking amazing live. Yeah. Just because the singer's so amazingly flamboyant, I love it. So, yeah.
We're doing the next. Have you got a segue for this one?
I don't.
Come on, segue me.
I guess the next tour, the cat's out of the bag. That's the best I could get. I'm really stretching. Fuck it. I
still hate you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll sense the two segues there, and they were both terrible. So moving on swiftly.
I've just got no common sense, Paul. That's what it is.
Oh, fucking! I really, really hate you. I don't hate this tour though. This is a pretty cool tour. Mm-hmm. So as you alluded to, Haggard Cat are going off on their Common Sense Holiday UK tour. Mm-hmm. So this is a big old run of dates through March and April. Again, I'll go through them quickly. You've got 17th kicking off Bristol, then 18th in Milton Keynes, 19th in Swansea, 20th in Nottingham, 21st in Liverpool, 23rd in York, 24th in Stoke. Who the fuck plays a gig in Stoke?
Me, I did. Yeah. It was all right.
I mean, I'm allowed to bitch about it. My wife's family are from there.
Okay, you've got diplomatic immunity. It's fine.
Yeah. 25th Birmingham, 26th Huddersfield, 27th Glasgow, 28th Newcastle, 30th in Bournemouth, and then 31st in London. And then a couple of dates in April, you've got Guildford on the 1st, Plymouth on the 2nd, Penryn on the 3rd, and Exeter on the 4th.
I mean, this tour's a slap in the face for us because there's no Manchester all these days.
I know, right?
Outrageous.
They've got Huddersfield, though, which is right in the middle.
I mean, the parish in Huddersfield is an amazing venue.
I'm more intrigued about going to Penryn to the fish factory.
Yeah.
Will there be fish?
Hope not.
Yeah, I don't know if I need that smell for an hour or two. But yeah, man, that's a pretty difficult run to. I can't even speak.
I say Milton Keynes is making a fucking comeback this year.
I know, right? What the fuck?
I don't know if it's just because
I think it's always been there. It's just recently it's been a lot more prominent.
It's been there since at least 1985 when I was born there. But I just feel like it's never been a massive place. And for some reason in this year, it's just come up a lot. So like, obviously you got Knotfest, My Chemical Romance, this tour. And then when we get to the Pressure Cracks interview with Dan, he talks about Milton Keynes, which is an amazing story. But the fact that he brought that was like, why is this city coming up so much this year? Also, if you ask my wife, there's a ski lift in Milton Keynes. There's not. But she's adamant there is. So can't wait to go on that ski lift. And that perfectly flat city in the Midlands.
Oh, God.
Good thing she never listens to this podcast. So she doesn't hear me mocking.
That's fine. Yeah, no, my missus doesn't do either. So, yeah. Fuck you, wife.
We're safe here. This is our safe zone.
I love her, and she'll beat the fuck out of me if she ever finds out.
Haggard Cats. So it's a band I've missed on Haggard Cat. I need to really check them out. I've never really got around to listen to them.
So, I don't know if you know who they are, but they're basically ex-members of Heck, or also known as Baby Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was the drummer and one of the guitarists.
Now I'm interested, very interested.
Yeah, so there's like the two-piece. They are just as insane as the Heck used to be. Just more confined into a smaller space.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, man. Good. Really good.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Talking of good stuff, actually, no, that's a bad segue because the reason for this date is not a good thing.
But what the?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah. You can just go with your segue. It is good stuff, but for bad reasons. But
for good reasons. But for bad and good.
It's good and bad.
It's like life. It's both good and bad.
It's a double-edged sword. So Faith No More. We talked about them recently. They are doing a date in Manchester. I think it was initially the 10th of June.
Yeah, so they're still doing that date on the 10th.
Yeah, so they're doing that, but they've also announced another date, same in Manchester, but on the 9th, which is great if you're a fan, which I am. But
Or in Manchester.
yeah, or in Manchester, and if you are both, well done. But yeah, they've announced a second date where all of the proceeds are going to be going towards the Australian Fire Relief Funds,
Yes.
Wires and CFS Foundation. So this is to help with the obviously the firefighting that's going on in Australia at the moment, and to help with people that are obviously affected by that. So it's this fantastic stuff from Faith No More. Yeah, big fan of this. A big fan of them. So yeah, if you can get a ticket, I urge everyone to do so. A, you get the chance to see Faith No More.
Yeah.
B, you get to help out the Australian charity funds going on at the moment. And C, you get to be within the same air as Mike Patton.
Yeah. Oh, it was a
I
pleasure.
thought you were going to say us and Gareth then, because we're in Manchester.
I mean,
Don't waste your time for us.
That's really anticlimax for me.
yeah, I'd take Mike Patton over you guys. Sorry.
You get to be in the city where we record loud noises.
Don't get me wrong, but obviously with what's been going on in Australia, it's been really amazing seeing how many bands have been doing exclusive merch or things like that just to raise funds and awareness. More bands, it's not expected, but it'd be amazing if more bands did things like this, because it's not some proceeds, it's no, they've set up a whole gig where all proceeds are going to go to the relief
For
fund.
a gig, for that's thing, so
That's
for
not,
Faith No More show.
Yeah, that's
That's a
something
lot of money.
they not you never expect anyone to do that, especially like I said, where it's just there's no bullshit. All of we make tonight will be going there, and that's fucking mega.
I think as well that thing's because it's such a random place and date, so to just kind of dab it onto the UK tour. It's it's meant to be our rest day, I suppose. Just do this.
Yeah, it's just
because they could have done this in America or anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? Last minute, we'll just cobble a date together in whatever city's closest for them in America, just to dunk this into the UK, so it's beneficial for fans, but also that benefit then goes towards a greater cause, and all the benefit goes towards a greater cause. It's not just we'll chuck them a couple of quid.
Yeah,
it's not a percentage of the process.
Yeah.
It's just
all the
they are saying
proceeds.
all of them. Yeah,
Good on you.
You can't expect all bands to be doing things like this, but let's face it, a lot of bands out there could do things like this and they don't. So Faith No More, fucking good on you guys.
I think when the tour got announced, I was like, I like a bit of Faith No More. I'm not a massive fan, but I'm kind of inclined to go to this just because I like the idea of literally all my money going to that, rather than be I just spent 25 50 quid to be somewhere where 50 quid to help this, and I get to watch Faith No More. I mean, I would generally need to find a fucking correct donation for this bushfire thing.
Yeah.
Cannot for the life of me find one.
Well, I mean, this would be a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's in my head now, so I got to bring it up, even though it has some relevance, but not really. But it just reminded me, so you got a good example of a band who did a massive part in helping. So I just remembered seeing that Metallica donate 750,000 Australian dollars to the fund. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But the horrible, cynical part of me just goes, guys, you're Metallica, do a whip round and round up to 1 million.
I mean, in Metallica's defense, in a way, last year they were very kind of generous with the cash.
I know, it's just, I can't help myself, but when I see that amount, I'm like, just round it up, innit? You're Metallica, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, that.
But that's nothing against the amazing amount of money they did not donate.
I mean, Metallica donated a lot of shit last year.
Yeah, totally.
I think when they played Manchester, they just donated a fuckload of money to some.
Yeah, they did it for. They
hospice.
donated to local charities at every
every city they played
event
on
they
it,
did around the UK. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
awesome stuff. Just I wanted a round number. I'm like, come on.
And that's just you being picky. So, I mean, this isn't going to be a round number probably when you bought £25, £50, 50
It's the
tickets.
gesture, which means more.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah. So it's epic of Faith No More to do this.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Get it?
No.
Epic.
Nope.
The Faith No More
Nope.
song.
Don't understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Nope.
Fuck you.
I get it. I just don't like it.
Fuck you.
I wasn't going to give him that.
I don't know if tickets went on sale for this yet.
They're on
Presume they
sale
went.
today.
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 Yeah.
Just going to quickly go.
As of recording, anyway.
Today.
I mean, I selflessly bought.
I saw people who gave zero shits about my chem making a point of saying, like, fuck that, I'm buying Fate No More tickets.
Oh, they're better people than me. Oh, I feel terrible. It's not on C tickets, so...
No, I don't know what time it goes on sale or if it's already sold out.
No, well, they may have already sold it. They definitely were on sale earlier, because I know a few people who bought tickets for it.
Maybe it's next week. Let's move on to the next piece of news while I just go Google.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
To be
the
fair,
person's
next
got it
bit-
down
sorry,
as
a little
Live
bit.
Nation and Ticketmaster are selling the tickets, so try in there.
Okay.
Yeah, talking of like gigs and stuff, because that's all we talk about. I'm not doing segues. Next news story. Yeah, so Slam Dunk have announced the full Pumpkin Drublick stage now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I found it.
Yeah.
No. Don't matter. Carry on.
Cool. Yeah, for a guy who doesn't give that much shit about punk, some new bands have been added. I'm gonna leave this one to you, Gareth, because this is your forte.
Yeah. So the two new bands added to the Pumpkin Drublick stage is not too surprising because both bands they've added are previously been on announcements for the rest of the Pumpkin Drublick because obviously it's a pit stop at Slam Dunk Fest, the Pumpkin Drublick stage. They do it all over Europe. But the two bands they've added is Me First and the Gimme Gimme Gimmes.
Yep.
Nope, Gimme Gimmes. I always say Gimme Gimme Gimmes, and I don't think I'll ever stop.
Gimme,
Yeah.
a man after
Fuck it. Me First and the
midnight.
Gimme Gimme Gimmes, or Gimme Gimmes, and also the Suicide Machines. First of all, Suicide Machines, fantastic opportunity to check them out. Brilliant. I haven't had a chance to see them live, so I'm really looking forward to see that. And if anyone can watch Me First and the Gimme Gimmes and not have fun, just sort yourself out.
I mean, they're probably a really good band to have at a festival.
They'd be fantastic at a festival, mate.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it is exactly what you need. If you haven't checked them out, they'll do your favourite songs in a great punk version.
I mean, if I was going, I'd definitely watch them.
Yeah. So overall now the Pumpkin Drublick for Slam Dunk is NoFX, Pennywise, Me Fizz, Gimme Gimmes, Real Big Fish, Face to Face, Vandals and Suicide Machines, which is just, for me, fun, and it's a bit more fun.
Cool.
Almost as fun as
Punk
your
fun,
weirdly small curled mustache. What the fuck have you just done?
I'm just playing on my mustache.
Yeah, it looks
Don't worry
awful. Stop it.
All right.
The fuck is that?
I was trying to look.
It's
This is
tiny,
why this needs to be a
little
video
curls.
podcast.
It doesn't
Look at tiny little curls of his mustache.
Shut up, Ginge. Oh, by the way, tickets for the Faith No More benefit show are still on sale. £55 and 25p each. And you're looking to sit right at the back in the Gods. But it's the only Apollo. It's at the Apollo in Manchester, which in the Gods is still fine.
Yeah, to be fair, the Apollo seating is some pretty damn good seating.
Better than being stood on the balcony, because the sound there is garbage. So, anyway, punk stuff. Sorry.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
if you've been
Sorry.
holding out for more Pumpkin Drublick stuff, that is it. It's all there. Take it or leave it. But I'm going to take it and enjoy it thoroughly.
I'm gonna say, are you getting a ticket for Slam Dunk?
I've got one, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
I am a slave to
I mean,
Fat
no
Mike.
effects playing, of course he's going.
Well, true.
Well, to be fair, like on a bit of a side note, what I'm a bit confused of, a big selling point was the fact that Days and Days are on there. A little folk cross-punk band that I'm quite obsessed about. Now, I always assumed they were going to be on the Pumpkin Drublick stage. And they announced that they are playing Slam Dunk. But they're not on the Pumpkin Drublick stage. And they're even on Fat Records now. So I'm a bit confused. So they best
One
still
of the
be there.
side stages, I'm guessing.
From what I can see, I'm the only one who gives a flying fuck about this.
Yeah.
So I feel like my complaints are
I mean,
falling
there's a
off
lot-
deaf ears.
And there's a lot of punks. I mean, I think last year at Slam Dunk, I didn't realise. I was at the festival, the punk stage where you were all day, and I walked over for
I
Bad
moved
Religion.
around.
Not much.
I was at 2 other stages at some points.
But I remember walking over to the punk and Drublick stage. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a terrible title. It's such a hard one to
I love Pumpkin Drublick. I love that saying.
It confuses my tongue. But I remember it was rammed all day. Because it was like essentially the second main stage
Yeah.
at the festival, and it was heaving all day. So people do care. They just probably don't listen to this podcast. Even though I keep putting bands like Anti-Flag and stuff in the title, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
'Cause they
I
probably
give a
don't-
shit.
Well, because they don't use social media because they're too punk. Who's to say? You don't really, do you? So.
No, not really.
you go.
I'm a good example
It's not
of
a
that,
punk
really.
thing,
aren't
is it?
I?
Yeah.
We're more into zines.
Well, expect the Loud Noises podcast zine coming soon. Then I guess
We're more into spray painting here onto Tory backs.
yeah.
I'm down with that.
I mean, another example where punk might not be as popular is maybe France.
Oh God. Yeah, Slam Dunk have got
Sorry, France, you got the fucking shit end of the stick on this one, didn't you?
Yeah, so, yeah, as we know, Slam Dunk is usually 2 dates in the UK. I don't know, is this a regular thing now? The Slam Dunk France thing?
I'm assuming. I
don't know. This is the first one they've ever
think
done.
this is their first venture into expanding
Yeah.
Slam Dunk.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
Just expand to France. You know that country where always has the alternative music festivals. France, not Germany or Belgium.
Hellfest is in France.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Germany or Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay, don't matter.
I mean,
Ignore
they get a lot of good festivals in France. But yeah, now you're getting Slam Dunk. Kinda, I guess.
I mean, it's the worst lineup.
It's not the best choices.
Do you want the shittest bands from the festival? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just to quickly go through, you've got the Used headlining it. 4 Years Strong, which are good. Chunk, No Captain Chunk. Okay. I really did not have any time for that band. Landmarks and Grayscale. There's more to be announced, but that's the first one. And this is going to be on the 30th of May.
Yes, it's the weekend after the normal Slam Dunk.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the location. I think it's... No, I'm not going to do it.
La Sigil à la Boule Noir. Noé? I can't say the last one. I go to France all the time, and I can't speak the language, so...
It's fine, you can barely speak English.
True that.
Yeah, I mean, for an initial entry into a France festival, I guess...
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's one of those where it's like, I don't know if it's what would be considered good in... I don't know, because it's weird, because each country's different in it. Like, every band has different popularity in each country and whatever else. But if this was like the UK lineup, this would be fucking shit to me. And just the user, I think just every band in this lineup, maybe bar the last two, is a bit dated to me.
I don't know. Like the Used are a weird one. Like I didn't even realise there was still a band until they got announced on the Slam Dunk Festival. 4 Years Strong haven't released anything in I think 5 years.
Yeah, they put a single out recently.
Yeah, well, put a 2-track single out.
Year.
Yeah.
And then Chunk No Captain Chung, I honestly didn't know they were a band anymore.
Yeah, I just think it's very 2010, like early 2010s, like.
Yeah. But again,
2000s.
I mean, this is us, like, we're not the target audience for this. That there might be a lot of people that are interested in this, and that's cool. And we're here just to give you the news. And then shit on it from a great height.
I know. It's a bit, as far as like credit to Slam Dunk, I know we talked last year after their first expansion of Slam Dunk going out of the city centres. Like, massive credit to that festival for how well they have expanded.
Yeah.
Whether I personally got more of a kick out of it being a city centre or not. Complete credit to the fact that this festival has done a great job expanding. And it's just another good example of them sort of dipping their toe in the water elsewhere and keeping it going.
Yeah.
Or they've been doing this for years and I've just never noticed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't remember them doing this before, but but then again, I don't go on social media a lot, so it's a weird one, this one. But no, I mean, for this lineup, I mean, the bands all fit together quite well, and yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, then it's going to be a great day. But for me personally, I'm not looking to book a ticket to France anytime soon.
No, but, Not for us, this one, is it?
No, I mean, personally, it's just not for us. And I mean, yeah, but if you're a fan, then fucking ace. Check it out.
I can't agree with, say what Gareth said, kudos Slam Dunk in general for expanding from, what was it, literally like 1 day in a small venue in Leeds?
So it went from, I think it used to be like 1 day in like Cockpit and stuff, and then it went on to the university, then it took over half of the city centre. And I mean, now, like, obviously last year it went into Temple Newsham. Yeah. So it's taken over a field. So it's become a fully fledged, like, outdoor festival.
Yeah.
I think this is just the next step in their expansion. I think I've always thought of Slam Dunk as that kind of, like, UK alternative to, like, Warped Tour. It'd
Yeah.
be like a miniature version of it.
Yeah, it's the UK way of doing Warped Tour, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, like the UK is not big enough to do like a fucking 2-week tour across.
It doesn't warrant it, really,
No,
does it?
it's not big enough. Not big enough.
But what Slam Dunk could do, it is fantastic, and I think obviously last year the expansion into the outdoor festival is the only way they could have got any bigger. Like I think they were kind of held back by the size of the venues in the city centre. I don't think they could have got any bigger from where they were. So I thought it makes natural sense for them to expand into a field, and I think again, I guess this is just their next expansion.
Just for listeners who aren't familiar with Temple Newstead, where Slam Dunk is now, it's the site where Leeds Festival, which is Leeds and Reading Festival, used to be held.
Yeah.
Before everyone fucking set it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone sort of knows what Leeds and Reading is, so the size of that is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's a testament that the organisers and everyone behind this they're doing great things, and they kind of came in this a bit fucking harsh, but kudos to those guys, and I think this is a nice way to test the waters into mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing there's nothing happening politically that will fuck this up.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anywho, should we?
we hadn't mentioned Brexit in a while, and what a fucking pain in the ass that is. Next week, baby, kill me. Right.
God damn it.
It'll be the best birthday ever.
Oh well, I'll have some more news for you next week, so that'll cheer you up.
Yeah.
But until then,
Indeed.
I'm done.
Boom. Nice one. Right. Cheers, Paul.
Thanks,
mate.
Paul.
Great.
Cheers.
Really like the happy Ozzy Osbourne picture. That's my highlight.
It makes me smile so
It
much.
makes me smile. Yeah, so that's it for news. We're going to move on to new music for the week. So as per, we'll start with singles. Creeper came back with a new song. Last time we talked about I think it was last year, wasn't it now?
It was last
It
year.
was a while ago, actually, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
when did
It
that-
came out the same time Mean Brain came out, I think, didn't it? By Shark
So I
Tooth.
think the last single
So it
was like
November?
early November.
Yeah.
I remember listening to it on the drive to Sick of It All.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember things.
Remember that better
Alright.
than you remember Sick of It All.
Yep. Because I didn't watch them. Yeah, so this is the second single off the upcoming Creeper album, which we spoke about previously, which I think is out in May. So this is Annabelle. Annabelle. God's left the building or something.
Catchy fucker.
Yeah.
Totally not about the creepy doll from the film Annabelle.
So I feel this is like quite a jump from this is a very big jump from original Creeper.
Yes.
And as I say original Creeper, I mean even the last album. This is quite a jump, and I feel this is even a bit of a jump from the last single because God bless Creeper themselves for tweeting something to help me summarize what this is, because I would have struggled to have to summarize this, but they tweet out, or one of the members tweeted out with hashtag, I think it's like Britpop goths or something. I was like, yeah, that's what it is, because it just sounds like Britpop. Like, they remember like the Britpop from the 90s, like, so it's like Oasis and Blur and stuff like that. So it's like Brit rock or whatever you want to call it. It's that, but it's Creeper. So it's kind of like this very British sounding, like.
So you're just saying it's like Blur with goths?
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah, a bit.
This is the goth equivalent of like Park Life.
Yeah.
This is where I think.
Imagine them singing Coffee and TV in eyeliner.
Yeah. I think this is like the song where you can hear the fact that Will, the vocalist, just loves David Bowie with unlimited passion, and it's just if this would have come out in the 90s, this would not have been out of place, sort of thing. I mean, I don't really know how to describe it. Really, it's like British pop rock sound, but then with the great overscaling of like a Queen sort of thing, where it's just like I listened to it today, and it's like towards the back end, it's like how the fuck are they going to pull this off live? Because it's so big,
yeah,
and it sounds like I kind of like in my head listening to it, I could just see like the members on stage with about 5,000 people standing behind them singing like choir parts and like orchestral music and all this shit. It's like fucking
there's something
massive.
I think they're really good at. It's so I thought the same. We're just like it's another for me great theatrical Creeper song,
over the top. Yeah,
and it's the path which we picked up on during Born Cold, the last single, and in like times it by 10 for Annabelle. But it's a great direction they're going in, man. And
This
it's
is like
it's-
literally like this the Spartan top equivalent. So Born Cold was like they're at like 8, and this is 11
Yeah.
of over the top. Fucking like what the fuck?
Yeah, it is definitely like, taking all those elements of going, right, how ridiculous can we be with the pop sensibilities that we have?
Yeah.
Like, this is just, as you say, like just an out-and-out pop song for them, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, with obviously the hallmarks of being Creeper with like the theatric sound to the background of it. His vocals are just quintessentially his vocals.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I loved it. It's like, it was one of those kind of like, just like a happy little palate cleanser kind of song. Like, it's not one that, well, I say it's not. This could be one of those songs that, give it time, it will get stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I'll be totally fine with that.
Yeah, it's not a. I feel it's not a first listen, pick up and go.
No.
Like I put it on, I was like, oh, okay. I had to like listen to it, think about it, and like after a couple listens, I'm like,
Yeah, it's a creeper.
yeah, it is a creeper. And I remember like listening to I was thinking this like listen to the first album, like the singles that came off that first album, Black Rain and stuff like that.
Hiding with the boys.
Hiding with the boys, like straight away those songs like fucking these are mint. Straight away first, just like love these. Pre-order the album, can't wait. Boom, boom, boom. Album's amazing, great stuff. Like Born Cold was a bit of a grower. Like I think it took me like 2 listens. I was like, I'm in. It's catchy as shit, loving it. This one, I think it's going to take me a while, and I think after many listens, I'll be like, yeah, it's a cool song. I'll enjoy it, but it won't be my creeper song that I'll go to.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like limited my expectations of what I want from that album, in a sense of I just think this album's going to be not the creeper I kind of hoped for, in a way, and not like saying it's going to be shit.
Yeah. Well, I say I'm in a situation now where they're giving me songs which I didn't know I wanted until I listened to them like a handful of times. Because when Born Cold first came out, first few listens, I was like, oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not grabbing me. Now, fucking love it. Exactly the same thing happened with Annabelle. I've listened to the song at least once every day since it came out.
Have you got any of the songs stuck in your head yet?
But yeah.
Yeah. I think I've not got that. With Born Cold.
I'm literally, Annabelle is like the bit where it's just on a god fucking damn loop. And then normally it was, there's a little breakdown coming to the end of this where it goes even more creepy and theatrical, where it's got like a little girl's voice, little kids at the end, and it says, I remember it says hallelujah at some point, but I remember having that in a loop for a little bit in my head as well. Yeah, this, basically I'm getting more and more excited about this purely because this band is showing me things which I didn't know I wanted, mainly because I didn't know I wanted pop goth or knew that was a thing. But I really want it, and I'm really loving it. But yeah, weirdly, not grabbing me because, like, straight off the bat, but falling in love after the 3rd or 4th listen.
Yeah. It's always that thing, like, I think for me, it's like, it's kind of put me off the pre-order thing. Like, normally I would have, like, we'll say with the first album, like, I literally listened to 2 of the singles, like, fucking, I need that fucking album. And it was amazing. And this has kind of made me go, I'll leave the pre-order. And I think the album will be fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really interesting to listen to what they do and everything like that. But it's one of those where, like, I've got this funny relationship where a band, you have to get to like it. Do you know what I mean? If you have to listen to something repeatedly and then you go, oh, now I get it. And yeah, they tend to be some of the best. But it's one of those, like, you just kind of got to get there. And I think we talked about this kind of podcast forward review songs. Like, I think I need the whole album. I need to sit down with that album and spend a lot of time with it and be like, this is fascinating, this is great, or whatever it's going to be. But with these singles, Born Cold was a quick grower, and this is a bit more like, okay.
But as I said, I love everything about this single. I think this song is fucking fantastic. But I find it so weird that just like Born Cold, I don't instantly fall in love with it, but I do eventually absolutely love it.
Again, I feel this is because I said this when we reviewed Born Cold.
Yeah.
There's no punk in it.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that as if I am like
100%
pigeonholed.
No, I know, no, because I'm the same. Creeper's got this really. Creeper had. I don't think I'm gonna do it again, but they had this really good way of having punk in their music without really being punk.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, obviously, I think they started as a punk band, but like the last album wasn't a particular. I don't know if it was a punk album. I don't know if you would class that album as.
I wouldn't class it as punk.
I kind of shoved in a goth punk pigeonhole for the sake of just putting it in some category.
They're the last sort of like punk influenced emo band.
Yeah. Modern day My Chemical Romance, really, isn't it? I suppose, but not as My Chemical Romancey. Maybe not as emo.
They're in the same category as them, and the same category as Alkaline Trio.
Yeah, just like an Alkaline Trio.
That nice middle ground where punk fans are into it, but then people who hate punk can still find a bit of love for it, and then all join together.
There are vocal moments on this song though where he does sound very Jared Away. Like more than he's ever sounded.
Yeah, there's some definitely like Black Parade sort of feelings coming from it, isn't it?
Yeah, which is fine. I guess it's just a shame that My Chemical Romance are back and have kind of shit all over that. Really,
is it just me or is it getting funny now that every single week we get something new from Creeper? There's a new story for My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
like, we've got a new single this week. Oh,
I really hope this leads to them supporting them.
They're fucking better at this point. Otherwise, My Chemical Romance are just taking the piss.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking this today when we bought the tickets for My Chem, and I was like, logically, it should be Creeper, but is that too obvious? And two, obviously, when you are an arena that size and the bands you're going to get to play and stuff, that kind of show, a Creeper up to that.
I think so.
I don't know because I musically the way their music is, and if they can get the musical side of it sounded, putting them to arena with that sound scale, it would sound fucking massive. Mm-hmm. But they're still, as we talked about the tour that's coming up, they're still playing the same size venues they did 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it like that, I mean, he's dead. I'd be worried. But like, if you think about Frank Carter, like they're playing like, apart from the festival dates they were doing, they were generally playing like Creeper-sized venues, maybe some bigger. But then they went on tour with Foo Fighters. I think the difference with that is that Frank Carter can carry any size venue.
I feel the same way with Creeper, to be fair. After seeing them at the Armour Hall gig as well, like this is a band which can put on a fucking performance which will hold a crowd the size of...
I'd be 100% them doing the My Chem show. I think it'd be fucking... I mean... If you're an emo kid, you fucking probably know who Creeper are.
Yeah.
But it'd be great for them as a band. So I'd be up for that. I'd be kind of dubious to see. I'd be kind of like on board, but also dubious. If that makes sense. I don't want to go and watch and be like, oh, that was no good.
Anyway, we're dream booking support for My Chem. While we're here, bung Alkaline Trio on there as well. Make me happy. Carry it on.
Yeah,
so can you imagine?
Fuck it. I said this before the band were just like, look, in the world of dream booking, ideal lineup for that My Chem gig is open with Creeper, then Alkaline Trio, then My Chem. That would make me very happy.
AFI, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Wing them in there as well.
Every goth fucking punk band for the last decade.
The Smiths.
Yeah.
No. Too far, Paul.
You said The Cure or Misfits.
I was thinking The Cure. I was thinking of Robert Smith.
There we go.
Yeah, just Robert Smith his own being sad.
Yeah.
I want Robert Smith sat on a chair, a deck chair, the entire gig just sat on the side of the stage.
Just like sat there 15 minutes and just goes, I was in The Cure. And just sits back 15 minutes.
Just like a narrator from Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's him going through all the bands during the My Chem gig.
Can we just get Robert Smith as the compere for the gig?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Sat at the side, looking sad, just
wandering around looking lost.
Yeah.
I like how as well, like Paul. This started with Paul saying every time Creeper released something recently, My Chem was just shit on it, and now we're just talking about My Chemical Romance.
I know.
So we're not helping.
Back to Creeper. Creeper are a fantastic UK band. This single isn't. I was surprised by it a bit because I didn't expect to go like full kind of Brit pop in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a good tune. It's catchy. If it was me, Born Call's better. Mm-hmm. But they've done this in the right way. They put Born Call out first and this. So in the way of singles, it's pretty bang on.
Yeah.
You see what the album sounds like as a whole.
Yeah, I really can't
Still kind
wait.
of hoping for like a little bit of punk in it, but probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not fussed. I'm all for how they go. Like I said, I find it very bizarre that it takes a few listens for me to be fully won over, but I am 100% fully won over. I think this track's fucking fantastic, and a goddamn listen to it motherfucking right now.
No, I'd agree with that. I think as you said, Badger, I think like Born Cold was the more instantly catchable one. Like that initial hook just gets its claws into you straight away. But this is, I think, if you can get past the fact that it doesn't have that like punk elements to it that you'd want from Creeper, it's like it is just an out and out great like Brit pop rock song. And I'd say definitely listen to it. Goddamn right now.
I'd say I'm gonna be awkward and just say listen to it if you want, just because it for me just wasn't.
Yeah. You're going to give it a few more listens before we see him in what is it, April? And I think you'll be fucking loving this track by then.
Yeah. I can imagine
not to sway your opinion now, by all means, but I really do think you're going to love this track when it comes around.
It's a weird tune because it's good because it's in like sort of segments. That girl's voice just haunts me. Hello. God has left the building. Ah! Like, what the fuck?
So good.
Great idea musically, but then when you like listen to it, like, what the fuck has just happened?
Oh, I love that shit.
Give it a spin. I'd recommend people give it a spin. I wouldn't say goddamn right now. I mean, just if you're ready for a bit of random Britpop, which is a genre that died 20 years ago. But sure, Creeper. Because that's what you do. You just bring random shit back that no one wanted.
They know what they're doing.
The thing is, that's in Creeper. They bring shit back you forgot about and you go, yeah, I want this now. Yeah.
They haven't done anything to make me worry yet. We've had many other bands come through.
There's nothing worrying about.
Yeah, many other bands come through where... It reminds me of when we were going through the singles, so the last Blink-182 album, and everything was like a warning sign. And we're nowhere near that territory. Everything has been a nice surprise with Creeper.
Yeah. Good. Cool.
Very good.
Happy?
Happy.
Cool. So next we're going to move on to Petals for Armour, and we're just going to say Hayley Williams. It's just Hayley Williams, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? So Hayley Williams from Paramore, a.k.a. Petals for Armour.
Cool name.
Dropped, yeah.
I like that.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
I dropped a new single, Simmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes. We talked about this briefly on the podcast last week. Because it was a bit of like a teaser.
Yeah.
And I said...
The idea of it.
Yeah. And I said, I hope it's something completely different that I'm not going to expect, but I've got an idea of what it's going to be, and it is that. This is literally what I expected.
Really?
Yeah. It's just a sadder alt-rock indie music that... This is literally what I expected. Not bad. I'm not going to discredit it or say it's like crap for that. It just I would have loved it if she'd done something complete left wing. Mm-hmm. I would have been like bowled over my chair like, fuck, I didn't imagine doing this. It's literally what I expected to do.
Yeah, so, I think when we were talking about last week, we were joking about like, wouldn't it be great if she went back on a hardcore influence?
yeah.
I just went, here's a Norma Jean-esque album. And it's like, no, it's what you say. It's just like a lo-fi kind of like
shoegazy, sad indie kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, like, again, we're not discrediting it. Like, it's just, it's a good song. It's just 100% what we expected, I think. Or at least it's what I expected it to do.
Yeah. See, for me, this went a little bit more obscure than I originally thought it was going to be. I did feel like it didn't go fully more into the...
Just out of curiosity, did you listen to the last Palmer album?
Of when it came out, fucking once over, but not enough to sort of give you some deep cuts on it, I'm afraid.
my train of thought with this is like, so Paramore's been a mishmash of a band for a long time, and they kind of boil down to this like three fundamental members, one of which is the drummer that's kind of left and come back and all this stuff. So really, it kind of boils down to the guitarist and Hayley Williams. Yeah, and Hayley Williams obviously must have a heavy say in the writing process of the music of Paramore. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to After Last Paramore album, it's a very, in some aspects, it's a very kind of upbeat 80s indie alt rock kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I think so. With this, if you take all the happiness out of After Laughter, or the happy upbeat stuff, you're left with sort of this, and so you're basically left. It's like, so what this is to me. Is if you just take the other two members of Paramore out and you're just left with Hayley Williams, which sounds stupid, but that's what, it's just the leftover Paramore.
Do you know what that does? That makes me like it.
Okay.
Basically take the happiness out of Paramore, and apparently I'm won over. Because it was, that was one of the things which I know, because I've never been a massive Paramore fan, but then also never been against it. I'm just just not for me.
lyrics.
But I remember especially the biggest things which sort of turned me off that last album was the more sort of bubblegum fun sort of like side to it.
Yeah.
But then this, like, I really enjoyed this, and like I did find it a bit more obscure than I obviously you guys were probably a bit more prepared for this. I wasn't. I thought it was going to be a bit more almost like more mainstream pop, where this seems a bit more obscure than I was expecting, which I enjoyed. It's somewhat sinister. I really did enjoy her voice in it massively, and there's a tone that goes through it all, which I found both enjoyable and unsettling. But yeah, I think I probably maybe got a bit more of a kick out of this because I knew what I was expecting wasn't what you guys were expecting. So I think I got a bit more out of it by not just being like, oh yeah, I get it. I was just like, oh no way, fair enough.
I don't want to sound like I'm coming across when I say like is what I expected. Like I honestly do love this track. It's just like. There was that initial thing of like, wouldn't it be great if she did a hardcore record?
Yeah.
But knowing that this is what I knew she'd probably do is like, I still think this is a really good song. I think you kind of covered it really well. How it's got that really kind of like, it's got nice melodies, but like it's got really sinister undertones to it. I like everyone knows that like Hayley Williams can sing for days. She's probably one of the best vocalists out there that does this kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like just like it's nice to see that like. Lo-fi feel that like little less positivity that you got from the last my mind's gone blank. The last Paramore album. So yeah, but like I liked it a lot. I just not a lot of risks taken with it. I think that's my only problem with it.
I'd say you say. Just something to pick on you. I'm going to say something about the actual song. Okay. You say it got it's less positive than the last Paramore album. Go back and listen to the lyrics of the last Paramore album.
I'm talking musically.
Music, yeah. They made it because it's a Paramore. They had to like they've got a bit upbeat and like kind of makes you feel good. But that album's pretty fucking depressing. Lyrically it's fucking depressing. There's a song called Fake Happy. It's just about just being fake and you're miserable all the time.
You know, they weren't fooling anyone with a title called Fake Happy.
I mean, that's one that's like right on the fucking node, but the rest of the album is just...
Okay.
She's not a happy person by the sounds of it. No. But yeah, but this song, in like just kind of like some of the songs on, like the three things I had to take away from it were like, well, not just the song itself, but in general. One thing I really liked was like the intro. Because she's doing this like breathing thing, and like the way that she does the breathing, and like when she does like the final exhale, it's like the song then kicks in.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really clever little twist, like to do. I just enjoyed that as like a little kind of like idea, which is kind of like a passing thought. Another thing is like you said, like Hayley Williams is a great vocalist, and I think this has let her do more because she's doing stuff in this I've not heard her do before.
Yeah,
and different levels of tones and stuff, and it's a very nice listen just to hear her vocally do that. Also the fact that she plays guitar and keyboard on this, so she's pretty much wrote 75% of the music, I guess, so it's literally mostly her. So to see that behind everything, it's nice to hear a musician take that and stuff. Another thing which isn't the song, but she put online like a what do you call it? The thing they call at the end of a film.
Credits.
The credits, thanks. The word just escaped me. She put like the credits for this on her Instagram. It's two like pictures. So it's like obviously her doing vocals, keyboard, guitar, and then it's like Tom Taylor York, which is the guitar for Paramore, recorded it, and then like just a list of people involved in the process of putting these songs out and everything. I was like, that's just nice. Because no fucker else does that. You get in the album sleeves, but who buys fucking album sleeves? Like, well, CDs or anything.
Yeah, without getting the CD, I'd be livid.
Well, no, but like, who buys that? And who buys physical copies to look at like? And even if you do buy the CD, who looks like who recorded this? Who did this and who did that? It's like when you watch a movie, you fuck off since the title start. It's nice you put that on, unless there's an edit credit scene. Even still, then you're talking to your mates that comes on. But it's nice that you put that out there. Say all these people were fundamentally, it's not just me. It's not the Hayley Williams show. It's still like all these people took their time and made effort.
Well, I'm assuming that comes with the fact that she's not going out under her own name. Like,
yeah, well, I say so. I mean, obviously, the thing is, before this came out, there was like posters plastered all over London and America and all random places with just her, and it said Petals for Armour.
Yeah.
So it's still like the record label, like,
Well,
look,
yeah.
it's that Hayley Williams from Paramore doing a single. Listen to it. But then she's like, but all these people fucking made an effort into this, so pay attention because it's not just me doing a thing. So I think that's just a cool thing to mention that she did that. The song itself, I think it is a good tune. It is what I expected to happen, but it is still a nice, enjoyable music to listen to.
Mm.
I don't think it's for everybody. I enjoy it because it's one of the sort of things I just kind of like listen to randomly. I don't actively go out and find artists like this, but when it happens, I go, "This is nice. I will have this, and I'll keep it for myself."
See,
and listen to it when
I had that thought with it because, like, I don't. This is not like a genre which I go down, like, because it's just not the music I seek. If I fancy listening to something, I said earlier, not to pigeonhole me, but I'll probably choose punk. But yeah, so I don't come across music like this, which I think was quite refreshing because I really do like music like this, and I have certain artists which sort of tends to go down these routes, but I haven't got many. So when I do come across a track like this, like, I appreciate it, and it sticks with me a lot because in the contrast to the other music I listen to, this really stands out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really did enjoy this, and it was for me a nice surprise not being a big follower of Paramore or having an understanding of sort of as much of what I was gonna expect to get. And like I said, just a more obscure, like abstract way that this song was produced, I found it more interesting than I assumed I would have found it before hearing it. So yeah, it was a winner for me. If we're gonna do our review system, it's not a goddamn right now, but that's not to discredit the fact that, so another thing we talk about when it comes to reviews is, I know people I want to show this song to, and recommend it to, and I will be continuing to listen to it. I think it's a damn good track. So, like, yeah, I'd give it a spin, but, you know, it's not a, you know, fucking shout out your window and tell everyone to go listen to it right now, but it's a fucking damn good track, and I'm even far more intrigued than I thought I was going to be listening to her solo stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does that thing that obviously a single should do, is like gets me excited to hear the rest of the songs.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what the rest of it sounds like. And like you said, it is a really good song. It's something that I wouldn't usually listen to, but I 100% recommend people do listen to it.
Yeah.
Again, like you say, not a goddamn right now, but if you get the chance, yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I kind of agree with you. It's like, obviously, I think like any Paramore fan will have fucking found this straight away and whatever. Yeah, say check out if you want. Like, I think it's a cool track. It's nice, laid back, and kind of like I think I'm gonna probably put on my playlist for the year. Just 'cause I'd like a chilled out laid track like this.
High praise.
I know. It's good. It's
on the playlist.
Yeah, right. I like it. I think I just need to spend a bit more time with it. Do you know what I mean? Because when you like, the problem with the podcast sometimes is like we blaze these songs in between. Like this has sat between, what was it?
Creeper
and Billy Talent. And it's a weird kind of like when you kind of like we should probably organise them a bit better sometimes. I feel
we should probably just be more organised sometimes.
Yeah,
but you know,
generally.
That shit's not gonna happen.
It's a cool track. I'd say check it out if you want, and just be prepared to chill out and listen to it. And I think it's one of those where it's like a musician's taken a lot of time and effort into it, and it's a lot of thought and process gone to it, and there's more to it than just like here's a throwaway tune to listen to on the radio. It's a bit more than that, I think.
Yeah.
So
no, definitely.
Yeah, it's a solo project from an artist, so to them it's a passion piece more than a. Here's a hit song you can enjoy.
Just a nice surprise for me. Yeah. I wasn't ready to enjoy as much as I did, so
10 Hayley Williams out of 10 Hayley Williams. Well done.
Can't be more Hayley Williams than Hayley Williams.
It's a lot of Hayley Williams. So good. Enjoyed it. I mean, I still want some new Paramore. I really like the last album. So.
Yeah.
After regret.
Chill out, will you? Always going on.
I just really like it.
Get enough of it.
No, I can't.
Chill out.
Stop fighting.
That was the most relaxed fight anyone's ever had. That was like two stoners fighting.
Just stop being an ostrich and just give some biscuits. Cool. So that was it for singles this week.
No,
Right.
one more.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry,
fuck
mate.
you, Billy Talent.
Oh, fuck! Sorry, I was looking at the wrong fucking... You know what it is? I closed the sweet dot.
Do you remember like 2 minutes ago where we were talking about this track was sandwiched in between two singles?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Oh,
Christ.
In all honesty, we dropped a song from the playlist because it's got like a mediocre thing, and we didn't want to be mediocre.
No.
And I thought that was next, and I thought we dropped it, so I got confused. Even though I immediately said ago, Billy Talent.
Yeah,
So,
alright, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Billy
nice.
Talent put a new song out called Reckless Paradise.
And he's back.
The artwork was cool as shit. So a couple of weeks ago, or whenever it was, we reviewed the last Billy Talent single, Forgiveness 1 and 2,
Yes.
which is pretty terrible.
No, for me, not terrible. Quite interesting, though, for a Billy Talent track. Unexpected for Billy Talent.
Well, okay. I thought it was pretty bad, but it's fine. So yeah, to drop this new song, I enjoyed it a bunch, mainly because it sounds like Billy Talent.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, like, I'm all up for bands evolving and changing their sound and getting better as artists, but the last single, I think they might have tried to do that and kind of stumbled, and then they've released this, which is a bit more classic Billy Talent, and I'm going to be a bastard and just say I really enjoyed it. And
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
me and, just to get you in the loop, Paul, me and Badger, I was talking to him earlier about the whole fact that I find this track really bizarre, as if we've missed something here. It's almost as if this single is separate to the previous. It's not part of the same album. Down from the music style to the artwork, it seems like two different Billy Talents. One which is going in their new direction, and one that's like, nah, only kidding, we're just cracking on and being Billy Talent. Because this is, if someone said, listen to the new Billy Talent track, and I put this on, not the Forgiveness part 1 or 2, if I just listened to this, I would have gone, yeah, Billy Talent, doing Billy Talent, love this shit, good fun. But I'm kind of left a bit confused just trying to compare the two and going like, I don't know what you're doing with this one, guys.
Yeah, no, for me, exactly the same. Like, listen to this, is like, is this a new Billy Talent song? Or is it just something off a previous album? Because it just sounds like quintessential Billy Talent.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of Billy Talent, this is what you get.
I mean, we haven't got a good track record of working things out beforehand. We just fucking go for it and then find out, mate, that was a fucking cover. And you're, oh, really? Like,
I think I everything. This is obviously a new song.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
but I
just
say,
kinda-
like, is this a new Billy Talent? Like, I mean that by saying it just sounds like classic Billy Talent.
yeah, but that's
like
the thing.
they're
You
not-
wouldn't be surprised, would you, if it just
No.
turns out just like, oh, they just re-recorded like an old B-side.
It's like, whereas like the last single, or technically two singles, it's like two
Yeah.
parts, is like, that seems like a weird like progression for them. Like, this just feels like it's like harkening back to like the first couple of albums.
Yeah, totally.
And which again, without sound like yeah, it's nice to see bands progressing and stuff. Like, I just love the fact that this just sounds like old school Billy Talent.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, I loved it. It's just a great classic Billy Talent track that just has all the hallmarks of their like uniqueness, like the vocals, the guitars and drums just sound like them, as opposed to like a lot of music like this can just sound very cookie cutter as it is.
Yeah, true.
Like, this just sounds like quintessential Billy Talent to me, which to me is fucking fantastic because I love like old school Billy Talent.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me more of this, please.
I think the thing is, like if this, they've kind of done a trick on me.
Has it broke you?
Yeah, a little bit. In a way, like if they drop this as the single, so forget like if Forgiveness 1 and 2 ever come out, that never existed, and they drop this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fucking not done much, have they? Fucking lazy Billy Talent. It sounds like Billy Talent. Just fucking maybe try something different, lads. You know what I mean? Because then they tried something different. And I was like, this is shit. And then I heard this. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is Billy Talent. I'm back, baby.
They just sat there, just like that fucking Badger. We just can't bloody win.
He just sat there with his big stand up pair, like, got you. No, fucking, it's generally like kind of, Paul kind of said it, like, it's just a quintessentially like a Bill and Talent song. It's catchy as shit.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
It's just
got
bizarre.
some good riffs.
I would have totally enjoyed this more if this was their first single they released, but now I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I really don't know where this album's going.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know. I just quickly skimmed through the Facebook while you were talking a minute ago. And I didn't see anything alluding to an album. They were just dropping songs. So they did Forgiveness 1, 2, and there's like a little movie with 1, there's a little movie with 2, like they're trying to do a concept thing, and then they did nothing for a while, and then they put this out. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if like Forgiveness 1, 2 were just a random thing they did, and then this is like another random single, or if there's an album coming, because surely this cannot sit on the same album as Forgiveness 1 and 2, because that'd just be weird, right?
It does feel like it would be. This is like feels like two completely different eras of a band, doesn't it? But you know, who knows? I'm sure there's people out there who are much more aware or do more research than we do and have a better understanding. But going off what we've got,
tweet at us at Loud UK.
Going off what we got, I am both confused, intrigued, and loving this track.
Yeah, I think. In summary, like, to talk about the song itself, there's not a lot you can say with it. It's basically, like Paul pretty much said it, it's a quintessential Billy Talent song. It's got the hooks, it's got the riffs, it's just catchy as shit. It's got a great chorus in it. It's just a fun listen, really. It's one of those, I don't want to say this sounds shit, but it's one of the songs I can put on and not have to think. And I love that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes... When you're fucking doing shit all day, you just want to put some music on, just like zone out and go, riffs. And this is what this is. It's just a fun tune. I can bang on and go, yeah, it gets me in a good mood. So I'd say, if you want to have a good tune...
It's in the same way of just putting on an old, familiar album where, you know the songs, you still love it, and it's just a comforting, familiar album you can bang on and enjoy. Doesn't mean you got to sit there and break it down and talk about how fucking why it's so perfect. Just like, no, you just have it on and just appreciate it being there because you love that shit. Yeah. But I want to know what the fuck's going on with Billy Talent. But as far as this single goes, loved it. This is what I wanted Billy Talent to bring me new shit.
I hope there's an album coming just so we can do a retrospective on the first album.
Yeah, I love that first album.
I love that. The second album was also a fantastic album. I've always liked Billy Talent. Well, the first couple of albums anyway. My wife's just giving me the V's for no reason. Love you too, babes.
Is it because you've been ignoring the cat that's been meowing for 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I've been giving that cat love. It doesn't comprehend true love.
Should probably give Jack a seat on this podcast at some point.
What does Jack think of Billy Talent?
Meow. Apparently.
Cool.
Billy Talent's just... They've always just been a good... they've obviously... It's like any band, they've got things to say and everything else, but they'll just deliver like a good energy and a good like upbeat form music that is just easily enjoyable. But if you like delve deeper, there's like a more meaningful kind of source material and whatever else. Mm-hmm. So, if I'd say listen to this whenever you want, it's up to you, Gal. It's your life. But also, if you've never heard Billy Talent before, have a dig back. And 1 and 2 is fantastic.
Yeah.
And also this.
But also on that note, if this was the first Billy Talent track you'd listen to, good place to start. Yeah, pretty solid example of what to expect from Billy Talent.
They did go away for a while, didn't they? So I suppose they did.
No, you just...
they felt like they did.
Yeah.
I feel like
they didn't go away.
That first album was fucking ages ago.
Yeah, they released like 3 albums in between those 2 albums you listened to, and now...
Those albums weren't great. So, I'd say listen to this if you want. It's up to you. This is my week for me. This is just a lot of, like, if you want, mate. I feel it's just a lot of, like... I know people I suggest this to, but I just wouldn't suggest it to everybody, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I suggest this to people who used to like Billy Talent.
Yeah.
And I feel there's a lot of large group of people who used to listen to Billy Talent that might not have done it in a while.
Yeah, this week has been a weird week for singles altogether. But as far as this one goes, I 100% would say if you are into like old school Billy Talent, definitely give it a go. I'm not sure it's a goddamn right now, but I'd say if this is your kind of music, then check it out.
It's the fun single of the week.
Mm-hmm.
the funny thing. I think it's funny.
Oh no, Annabelle.
I think it's more fun than Creeper.
No. I'm still singing along to Annabelle in my head.
Yeah.
Like
I found this. I found this catchier than Creeper.
Oh, I completely disagree.
If I was 25 and I was going to a club, I'd dance this more than Creeper. But I'm not. I'm 34.
I mean, I wouldn't dance to either. I'd sit in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I think the Creeper song is just a bit more of like a. I don't know. It's just. I think that'd be more of like a. That's a grower for me.
Yeah. I feel
I like this automatically.
I see myself with a group of friends singing Annabelle at the top of our lungs.
Well,
I see myself forgetting this Billy Talent track.
How old are you?
I will be 27 in a week.
So from a 30-year-old, Billy Talent is more catchy and Creeper's more of a thinker. For a 20-year-old, he'll sing to Creeper because singing bitch. Have it.
I think I haven't got another, so. I feel like there's a pause there for me to have a comeback. I ain't got one.
I just hate watching my parents fight.
If we're your parents, you okay?
I've not been okay for a long time.
But no, this solid Billy Talent track.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to recommend this to anyone. It's not a goddamn right now, but it's nice to see Billy Talent putting out a fucking damn good, solid Billy Talent track. Well done. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I hope his hair is still as tall as it was in 2000 and whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's great. You can keep sticking it up, but if he gets a bald spot, you won't be able to find it.
I know, right? Genius. So that was it for singles.
Yep.
I mean, this time.
You sure?
Yep. So we're going to move on to album of the week, which is Higher Power, 27 Miles Underwater. We've done 2 singles off this previously.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Seamless and Low Season, I believe they were called.
There was 3, but we did miss one. Or we
down to the rule of 2.
Goddamn rules.
It's the rule of 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paul, I'll let you start with this one.
Okay.
For lols.
I loved it.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, no, I've always been a fan of Higher Power. They were one of those bands that when I initially listened to them, I was kind of put off by the vocals. Just because when I was like, oh, here's this hardcore band, and then it's like a lot of clean, well, it's all pretty much clean singing vocals in like a really interesting style. So I was like, huh. But yeah, after giving it a few listens with the first album, like I loved it. Coming into this one, I knew more what to expect from them vocally. And yeah, it's just a big old slab of Higher Power for me that I loved. The riffs are really catchy. It's got that similar feel to the way that Turnstile have. They're not the kind of same band musically, but it's just that kind of like feel good, kind of like hardcore that just automatically puts a smile on my face when I hear it. And yeah, again, singles stood out really well. But yeah, all in all, it's just a really good album.
Yeah. The reason I picked Paul because the band's from Leeds. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, this band is like I'd sent it to my wife when I listened to it because she loves Turnstile, and I was like, listen to this. It's basically British Turnstile.
Yeah,
is what it's a fucking great album. I fucking love it. Like I think the last 2 singles we talked about, I was like, I've been hyped for this album, and shamefully, I generally forgot it came out today.
Yeah.
And just because it's just this year just got away from me, it's whipped me under the rug. So. But I just fucking love it. It's cool. Like a very short. It was like 35 minutes long.
Yeah, it wasn't just much over 30 odd minutes.
Yeah, just like quick, catchy songs. And what I like about it is like it's got that Turnstile vibe about it. So it's got that kind of hardcore Turnstile vibe, but it's so British. It's got that British rock feel. So like, there's one song I think.
I was gonna say, like the main thing that came to my head while I listened to this was it's like dripping in 90s rock.
Yeah, there's the third to last song, "Staring at the Sun." That starts, and I was like, "This sounds like Hell Is for Heroes. This is amazing." It's got like a little bit of like everything that's good. That was like, I mean, I'm talking like British rock from like 100 Reasons, Hell's for Heroes, My Vitriol, all those kind of bands that were like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then with a good dash of hardcore and everything else that Higher Power throw into it, it's such an interesting listen. And considering they're like classed as a hardcore band,
yeah,
I don't know why they should be classed as a hardcore band. There is hardcore elements in this, but they're not a hardcore band in my
Yeah, I agree with that. As far as like, you can sort of understand where they would land on a hardcore bill.
Yeah.
But
seeing it live,
as a-
they're definitely a hardcore band when it comes to play live.
yeah,
The crowd definitely treat them as a hardcore band.
yeah, I can see
But yeah,
that.
musically, I can say, yeah, it's a bit hard to pigeonhole them into that one genre, which I think is to their testament.
Yeah, it's undeserving for them to just be like, oh, they're just a hardcore band. It's like, they're not. They're not just another hardcore band.
Well, I think that's why I like it, because it's like, give me a hardcore album, and I've already got an idea in my head what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So like, here's a hardcore album. I was like, I know what this is going to be. It's going to be slam beats and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's yap yap yap, rah rah rah, whatever. Give me this, and I'm getting a plethora of like different styles and different like rhythms and beats and vocal patterns and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, this is interesting as fuck. This is amazing. I mean, the closest I get is Turnstile.
Yeah.
And I've not heard an album like this. I can't.
Since the
think
last
of an
High Power album?
I never heard that album, so
You should go back and check it out.
yeah, I'm fucking gonna, mate. So I mean, I fucking love this. This is great. It's literally, it kind of appeals to every kind of part of me from the last 20 years. Cause it's got like, so it's got that kind of like Brit rock, kind of like reminds me of the Hells Heroes and like all those kind of bands, and then it's got like the hardcore element in it, which I love, and then some of the Turnstile stuff and all the bits and bobs, and some of his vocals are fucking weird. Like, he's got this vocal style which is interesting, and some parts it might just be me, but he sounds like Ozzy Osbourne in certain parts. To me, he has in certain parts.
I wish I picked up. There was. It must have been a line or in one of the particular songs, but like I thought,
It's actually like a
I
flint.
thought I was fucking insane for thinking
Yeah.
that, so I didn't think of saying anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I
It's
wish I
literally
could point out exactly where the moment was.
I think it's
but
in.
I
I
agree.
think it's in the last single reviewed.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say it at the time because like I'm just being a dick. But there's one bit in one song is like that.
It's
just
like
sounds
young
fucking
Ozzy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, like
yeah.
young Ozzy. It's like that's fucking quality. You
Yeah.
get like a little bit of dash of young Ozzy in there. That's mint. I fucking love this. This is so good, and it's like a strong start for the year. I saw someone say this is like a contender for album of the year. I wouldn't push it that far just because.
There's a lot of albums coming out this year.
Yeah, it's January, mate. Chill the fuck out. But
You say that, but you put the January release in your
It's
album of the
true.
year last
Number
year.
one.
it's true. But I'm fully on board with this. This is a fucking great release. A very diverse hardcore band.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a fan of Turnstile or just hardcore and you want to hear a bit something different instead of just your normal breakdown, kick someone in the face kind of music, check this out. It's fucking mint. That's my review.
Yeah.
My only problem with this album is that it came out in January. Because if this came out in like June, July, this would be the perfect soundtrack for the summer.
Yeah. I know.
like-
It's still going to be there, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I can-
it's just like such a feel-good record.
Yeah, I know. I think it's good now because it's like It's weird because I can imagine myself chilling out to this album, like just having it on, just being like laid back, but also having a bit of a party in a way. Like you can have it on with a couple of mates, having around with a couple of beers or whatever you do, and you have it in the background. Like, oh yeah, sort of good vibes. It's just got good vibes. It's just a cool album. I think that's the only word I can describe. The main word. It's just a cool album. It's just like kick back, listen to this album, you'll be fucking happy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Agreed.
You got any more to say?
Goddamn right now, check it out.
Yep, I agree.
Good answer. Yeah.
For me, like, I think it's not surprising from, like, where I stand with this sort of music is that I really enjoyed this, but I've said it before with certain, this normally happens where I'm just like, I wish I could match your guys' enthusiasm. And it's not me putting down this band, because I totally agree. I think this is a great album. But for me, this is not something I'll be going back to regularly, but that's purely down to my tastes. I think, like, Rewire 101 is fucking a absolute banger of a tune. Like, I think that was a fucking cracking song.
I kind of like interject. My only problem with this album was there's a song called Lost in Static, and then it goes into Rewire 101.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost it there, where it kind of went into those two tracks, and I kind of couldn't tell the difference.
See, it was after that I started getting that. I started feeling like the
way he
songs again,
sings the choruses gets a bit.
Yeah, they get lost one into the other.
Yeah,
And I think this is where sort of it's not where I sort of switched off. It's where I was still interested, but I started noticing. Tropes is a word that comes to mind, but it's not sort of a trope. It's just how it's their performance, is his vocal style, that sort of lends itself to not be. It's like it's repetitive in the way of it's his voice is gonna sound similar, but it's there. Where I'm just like, oh, I get where the song's going. Yeah, it's good, but I get it. But this is not a discredit to this album or this band. It comes across very well.
I think.
But yeah, enthusiasm wise, it's solid. But yeah, you guys are you're gonna get a lot more out of this than I am with my sort of choices.
I think the album's pretty fucking solid. Like, every track is a good song.
Yeah,
and I don't want to discredit it anyway. I think you should go listen to Goddamn right now. The only thing I'd probably change about this album, the slow song of the album is called In the Meantime. I'd probably push that up a couple of tracks just to break it a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it comes in 4 tracks from the end and it breaks it nicely, so you kind of get like a slow song and you go into the other 3 tracks and you're like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I found myself quite unsure about that track, but to be fair, that track very much won me over with the build it has. When that
and it's rare that a hardcore band would even do a slow song.
Yeah,
like that
totally.
well.
And with that song in particular, that opening, which when I first heard it, made me sort of take a bit of a step back and go, "That's a choice." Literally builds to what probably ends in one of the biggest sort of grand finales that they have in any of their songs. It builds so well to, and it wouldn't have ended so well if it wasn't for the slow build from the opening. No, that's a fucking tune. Like I said, I think I would agree, maybe move it up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It really, this is such a small issue to have.
Yeah, it's kind of nitpicking at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. I'd say listen to Goddamn Right Now. It's a great album.
Mm-hmm.
Gas says listen to it whenever you want.
Yeah, go check it out.
It's not punk enough for you. I understand.
It's recommended.
I mean, I'm going to say, Goddamn Right Now, because, I love this.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
man.
deep dive into it a bit more.
Thanks, High Power. I've had a good couple of runs of releases the last 3 weeks. Not the first week of this year, that was terrible. The last 3 weeks has been great.
Yeah.
That's it for new music.
Oh.
But we're back next week with some more new music, probably. I'm sure there's an album out next fucking Friday, and I cannot for the life of me think what it is. It'll happen. We'll review it.
Sure, it'll be
great. So, before we dive into the interview with Dan from Press Cracks, me and Gareth have got a live review.
Yeah.
So, bit of punk, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Very much so.
Very much so. So, me and Gareth went to see the band Petrol Girls, who are I always struggle what to call them as a band, like feminist punk post-hardcore.
Yeah,
I think
they describe themselves as a feminist hardcore band.
Yeah.
Feminist hardcore. I wouldn't lump them into a hardcore genre. They've got songs that sound post-hardcore and they've got songs that sound punk.
Yeah, they've weirdly found themselves, like, outside of the message this band gets across, which I'm sure we'll talk about because it's so worth talking about how amazingly strong their message is.
Yeah, it's great.
But outside of that, just on a music style, this band does such a good job of getting the most diverse sort of like musical taste interested in their sound. The fucking most I got into this band last year, so when I noticed I think you pointed out to me, Badger, it's like, see Petrol Girls play, I'm like, fucking sweet, bought a ticket straight away. Yeah. I thought I was going to that gig on my own. It was a small army of us who ended up going to that gig. Of people which I did not expect to ever have any interest in seeing a band like that. Which was down to yourself and your wife and my girlfriend and then other friends and then people coming out of woodwork I haven't seen in ages showing up. Fucking fantastic. I love that this band has that diversity. And it's like from people who've seen them before, who at festivals, or just people who've heard about them, whatnot. So that's first of all a big credit to the sound this band has in whatever genre you want to call it, for being so diverse and so poignant that gets people fucking going. I went on about that a bit too much then. But, sorry, I got it's on lost where I thought I've taken a lot of cold and flu today.
So I'll wrang this back. So
save me.
The two things that were interesting before we even got to the gig was the fact that they had a Q&A for a feminist organisation, which is fucking super cool. The venue was like really on board with this gig. Like they had a Q&A for like a feminist organisation, so you can go turn up to that and just have a chat about feminism and all that kind of stuff. And then they had a bazaar in the bar downstairs, which is a feminist bazaar, so like a little market.
It was just
support
sort
of feminism.
Yeah, it's charities there where they were selling sort of bits and bobs of merch and zines and things like that, which would contribute to the charities for the message that the band talk about and sing about. And
then, so another thing the band do is like they reserve, and this is what kind of like piqued my interest of how this is going to fucking work.
Yeah.
So the venue itself is like basically a smallish room with no kind of divides or anything. It's like you're just in a big room. You're in a room. You got to stand in front of the stage. They've reserved the front for females or non-binary.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how are they going to fucking organise this? Where you expect people to move about and not be in the mosh pit. You got to wait for it. Like, get all the ladies and non-binary and everything at the front, and then everyone else to step back and all this. And I was like, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. No way they're going to organise this. They're going to fence it off, blah, blah, blah. And then I turned up.
I think you put so much thought into it, didn't you?
No, because I
you thought barriers were going to be involved in shit.
I think it's because I'm just so used to going to hardcore gigs. I was totally a dick.
Yeah.
Whereas this was like, everyone turned up and she just literally came on stage, and before they started playing, she was like, right, so this front side of the area is for such and such, and so move. And everyone just fucking moved. I was like, sweet. I'm in a room full of actual, general, nice people, not a room full of cunts.
Yeah, it's great, wasn't it?
It was really nice.
It was really nice.
And I was like, this, and automatically my mood was lifted by 10% because for going to hardcore shows, and everyone's just like kicking each other in the face and just not wanting to move for shit, to people like, no, this space is for this type of people, so everyone else move back. And everyone's like, yeah, sorry, move it. And everyone like, go to the front and everything else. And everyone just moved and stuff. I was like, that's just fucking mint.
It just goes with the genuine message of this band. So if you don't know anything about this band, they sing and speak very candidly about sort of just in general equal rights, pro-choice, just anything, basically anything that's worth fighting, they fight for, which unfortunately don't get talked about in most day-to-day aspects. So they go hard on it in the best possible way, and when they play, they start with sort of warnings about what they're going to sing about, whether it's a sensitive subject, about the whole thing of just like giving these people who may feel uncomfortable in these situations, like people who are non-binary, or even just a female at a very heavily, normally like male hardcore show, is giving opportunities to these people who don't get an opportunity to feel comfortable. Fucking nothing better than that.
Yeah. So
refreshing to see this done so well, and on top of all that, topped off by a fucking fantastic performance by the band.
The band themselves, like, literally musically and like live performance was absolutely smashing.
Yeah.
Fucking every song sounded tight as shit. It just great. And like the live performance itself was, it just, I don't think it, we obviously go to a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And I just was fucking bowled over by this. It was just amazing to watch. And I think it really helped with the atmosphere in the room, where it's just like, it's a safe space, it's uplifting, and obviously I'm a fat, bald, white guy, so I shouldn't be part of this. So it's not for me in a sense, but I felt great in this space because it's encouraging and a safe space for everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like people like my wife who doesn't get that, and our friends and everyone else in the room, and it just to have that, and it's cool when you go to gigs like, I know Frank Carter does this where he encourages a safe space. And you see these big bands going, don't fuck about with girls in the pit, and that's always good.
Yes.
But for a gig like this, where it's like a heavy fucking message, and everything is delivered with such a passion, it's like, this is what should be the norm, really. Yeah. And it's great and sad in a sad that it has to be a one-off for this to happen. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're at a time now where like there are enough gigs for straight white guys. It's nice to see people
we've had our time
to like balance it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if we're gonna give anyone the flag to bear, Petrol Girls have it.
Yeah. I like the fact that they They played the Deaf Institute in Manchester, which is normally it's just the stage itself is a stage with like a curtain behind it, and they decorated it with banners, and they went over the bar and stuff with like slogans and phrases for like feminism and all that stuff. And I was like, just little touches like that, and it's just like everything like that. It's just a well thought, nice thing, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just I left there feeling fucking buzzing.
Yeah. We wish, to be fair, I wish we had a perspective which wasn't from fucking just two white dudes.
Yeah.
But from two white dudes that went to a Petrol Girls gig. Please just keep doing what you're doing, and I encourage everybody to go see them. It was an incredible gig with an incredible message, which more people need to go to, because fucking you need to experience bands like that, because there's not enough bands like that.
Yeah, I thought that. I mean, to say like musically great as well. Like the songs sounded amazing.
Yeah, we're not. It's just because they give such a good message. That's not giving them a pass like they got shitty music. Like their music and performance is fantastic. It just is.
I think the thing is like you go to a gig and like you can watch a band, any fucking band, and they've always got something to say. Like they were sad or they've got problems or whatever else, and stuff you relate to. But if you've got like a hard fucking real message about like the world in general or politics or whatever else, something that shit is wrong with the world as it is, it just makes you, in you're in a room where they're actually facing those problems, it makes it a more of a better experience, and you kind of come out of that going, right, fuck, I've learned something, I need to step up and kind of stop being a prick about what I do, whatever, or just leave going, it was nice to be part of that, and you go out and leave as a better person, or whatever. It was just a fucking amazing experience to be part of it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone went to that gig, and some of the people we went to were just there for a beer and a fucking noise, and we all left like, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing.
Well, so I took my my partner, who just on the basis of like she's only recently over the last year started going to gigs, so I started sort of introducing her to more and more bands and being like, let's go to. I'm gonna get you a ticket for this one. You'll enjoy this one. By the end of it, you know, it's just like she turned around to me at one point and said to me just like, I'm so happy you got me into punk, which made me very proud. But it was also quite emotional, and it was something that she'd never experienced before. She actually said to me as well that she couldn't believe how many men were there.
Yeah.
Which I guess like, because I just thought it was just like, oh, they're like feminists, like sort of anarchist, like punk bands. I think you quite like them. Maybe not anarchists. But then, so in her head, she was just like, "Oh, it's going to be cool." You know, expected to see a sea of women and her weird boyfriend. But I was like, "No, this is what it's like in these environments. Yeah. It's awesome. We get diversity in these small pockets where, these things can work, and we do get this diversity in our small pockets. Yeah. But yeah, if more people keep going, these pockets get bigger, and the world will be a better place thanks to bands like Petrol Girls. Yeah, big old thumbs up.
Avoid World War III. That's what I'm saying.
Avoid World War III with some Petrol Girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they are the pioneers. With many, I think the UK at the moment is like literally smashing it with this kind of thing, with the non-binary, like just pushing the message forward. Obviously, the country itself is in shit show. It's fucking horrible. The country's enjoyed, but there's so many bands coming out just doing this kind of positive thing, like Milk Tea for doing it. Ithaca are doing it, and like a lot of the bands just pushing this message forward. They're like, it's not just this narrow-minded, this is this gender, this is this, and this is that black and white shit. It's just, not to sound like a fucking meme or whatever, like it's 2020. Just get fucking woke.
Yes, mate.
Talk to the kids. But like, it just, and that's what I love. Like, I love seeing bands delivering these messages. Like, it's not a case of like, oh, you've had a shit life, we're just singing about sad songs. It's like delivering important messages, and people listen to that. It's really important, and I think it's cool, and it makes me just feel fucking hyped, and that's why I left hyped. Not because like I'm a feminist now or anything like that. I'm just like that they're doing that, and they're touring the UK and selling out venues, delivering these messages, and that's fucking amazing. Love it, absolutely fucking love it. Can't fucking wait. I really hope by the time I'm going to die from liver rotting to shit, the whole country's fixed by Petrol Girls and bands like that. And everyone's listening to bands like that, and everyone, it's going to be great. Love it.
But yeah, highly recommend. Really good.
Yeah. In summary, great.
Yeah, very good. Well done.
Sad I couldn't be there.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with the messages that bands like this send out there. So yeah, I'm just happy to see that it was also a great performance on top of that as well.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. Anyway, that was that. So
let's never go to a gig again. Oh wait.
So before we dive into the next segment, next live gig we've got. All three of us are going to be together.
A whole
rarity.
eternity.
It's been a whole 2 months. No, it's not. It's been a whole month since we last saw each other.
Yeah,
so
for Christmas.
We're all gonna, in 2 days' time, we're all gonna be watching While She Sleeps, Every Time I Die, and Vain in Manchester.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the next show because it's not happened yet, so we can't talk about it. They're playing in London tonight, which is apparently a big deal.
It's sold out. I'll just see it just online. It's playing at Brixton.
Yeah. I mean, they saw the Manchester show first because Manchester's better than London, but whatever.
Duh.
So we'll talk about that next time. But now, the long-awaited interview. We sat down to have a chat with Dan from Pressure Cracks. We fucking really appreciate this guy coming on. Bless his soul. Took his lunch break to talk to us.
Yeah.
So obviously 2 weeks ago, I think it was now, we reviewed the EP and we ended up getting chatting to them. Fucking solid, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he very kindly came on, chat to us. So we're going to slide this interview in now, and we'll talk to you after the interview's done. Yeah. So I'm joined, me and Paul. Gareth's not here because he's terrible. But we are joined by Dan, guitarist of Pressure Cracks. Welcome, Dan.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Okay. Really happy to have you on the podcast. It's fucking an absolute pleasure to have you on with us for a chat.
Thank you for having me.
So I think we'll start with kind of like some normal questions, and then we'll do some quick fire ones near the end, if that's cool.
Very good.
Yeah. So first off, I think we'll go back to the beginning, if that's all right. Would kind of like, maybe you could tell us how Pressure Cracks came about as a band?
Yeah,
how that
sure.
kind of started.
Yeah, so myself and Kevin, who's the other guitarist, and Bill, who plays drums, and Ryan, who plays bass, have all been in bands together in the past. So various different kind of local things. Kevin and I were in a band called Scars of Tomorrow for a while together, although Kevin was in that band much longer than I was because I didn't really enjoy the touring experience as much as he did. So I liked being home, especially with my family. I had an ill family member, so I had to stay home and stuff, which was great because it kind of allowed me to start establishing some stuff out here, some recording stuff and doing different audio things that I do now. Kevin toured with Scars of Tomorrow for a while, and then that band kind of wrapped up and met its natural conclusion. Now, in that time, Bill and Ryan were playing in bands around here as well, and we all decided to start a band together, and we did this melodic hardcore band called Werewolf Congress for a while. That was really cool, and was just a local thing. And at a certain point, we wanted to do something a little different. We got kind of, we were interested in other kinds of music, and Kevin and I always really liked Botch and Disembodied and older kind of heavier and noisier bands. So we wanted to do something different. So he and I started working on some stuff and brought Bill in and Ryan in to start kind of fleshing out those ideas. And as we were writing, we were recording the songs and sending them to Jason, because I had known Jason, since we were teenagers playing shows together. Okay. And Let Live when they were just starting, we would do like pay to play shows together where we had to sell tickets. It was, it was the worst. But those experiences kind of galvanize friendships, right? Because you're up at 2 a.m. on AOL Instant Messenger talking about, how things are going. How's the band doing? We should set up another show. We should do this. We should do that. So Jason and I stayed in touch, and, Let Live progressed into something that we all hoped it would. And from our scene and our local bands, that kind of became the first real big breakout, along with the Ghost Inside and some of those other bands. Because prior to that, we had Throwdown and 18 Visions and Bleeding Through and Adamantium, all these Orange County bands that kind of broke out. But then there was this gap where not a lot was happening. So sent Jason the songs, and he loved them. And Let Live was kind of reaching its end as well. And we told him, everybody's married, people have kids, and we all have careers and stuff. So we're not looking to monopolize his time. And he was starting the Fever 333 project. So it's like, okay, we're not going to monopolize your time, but I've always wanted to see you in a super heavy, straightforward hardcore band. Yeah. And I know that with Fever, you won't really be exploring that territory as much as you did with Let Live. So do this thing with us. And he was all about it. He was really excited to do it. So that's kind of how that started. And then we just sent him songs, and whenever we could get together and write and record, that's how the first EP happened.
That's cool, man.
That's sweet. So go ahead.
So go on. Paul's probably very excited. You mentioned Botch.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's like 4 or 5 bands there you mentioned that just like ticked my childhood. So yeah, 18 Visions and Throwdown. Like just knowing there's bands out there that love that influence as well. It's great for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it was the usual suspects: Converge, Botch, Every Time I Die. Kind of a lot of these noisier or heavier bands that were not about. It wasn't like, let's get on MTV2 and those bands were grinding. I mean, Converge still tours in a van, I think. It's like always was about like making really intense music that isn't super accessible for a specific group of people that need to hear it. And we were those people. So we're happy to do the same thing for anybody else as well, because that's how we connect that's how we connected with each other. And that's how we connect with the people that like our band and come to our shows.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these, like you guys came from the background with some of these bands, a great work ethic rather than just trying to be the next thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And we have no illusion, to the fact that like a band like Fever is always going to be a primary focus and a more popular band. And we're happy with that. Like I want Jason to always be able to express himself in every way that he wants, because he's somebody that I really care about, and he doesn't paint with one brush. It's just not in his nature to rest on his laurels and do one thing. So, that's how he ended up having 3 singles from 3 different bands come out on the same day, because it's just, that's just who he is. So we knew that we would not be a primary focus, because we can't be. Like, we all have our own lives and our own things going on. So for us, it works really well in that way, because I have different audio stuff that I do in a day job. Bill, our drummer, has 2 kids in a day job. Ryan, our bassist, has 3 kids in a day job and also runs a recording studio. Kevin has 1 kid with another kid on the way and a day job. So, it's not like we're 20 anymore.
No,
we're all old and fat and tired.
I definitely feel that. Say, you mentioned about you doing like audio stuff, and kind of just step away from Fresh Cracks for one hot minute. I don't do research. I'm terrible at it, but I thought for this I'd make an effort. I stumbled across Midsummer Scream.
Sure, yeah. So
I thought this was fucking cool as shit that you do this. It's audio for horror attractions. Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically that. So my pal John Cook, who sings for Winds of Plague, also runs or helps run a company called 13th Floor, which is a company that makes haunted attractions all over the United States. So I do a lot of work for him doing audio design for these different attractions. So basically, if you walk through a haunted house, you hear creepy music and people screaming and getting killed and all kinds of fun stuff, demons, whatever. I record all that stuff and create all those sounds. My primary job with that is working at a theme park called Knott's Berry Farm in Southern California.
Yeah,
Knott's Berry Farm's super old Wild West style theme park. And but the first ever haunted attraction in like a theme park was at Knott's Berry Farm in the mid 70s. And so I have worked there for 12, 13 years and do sound design for a bunch of stuff there, not just haunted house stuff, but also like kids shows, like the Peanuts characters. Charlie Brown has a show. We do sound design for that, so it's really, really fun stuff. And, it's not that far removed from hardcore. Honestly, it's a bunch of people that are like-minded getting together and trying to build something and put something together. And on one day it opens, it's kind of like a show. It opens, like the first night of the season, whatever Halloween season opens, and people come and hopefully they don't shit all over it. But ultimately it's typically a bunch of dudes that look like us, talk like us, and women, of course, that look like us, talk like us, covered in tattoos, trying to make something special happen for people, because we just want to make people happy or explore their, explore the things that thrill them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That sounds like a rad job.
Yeah, it's unique. It's definitely not something that people usually can really get a vibe of, because it sounds kind of nuts, but it's really not. It's like making music, it's not that different.
Yeah. So you work with that kind of in the audio recording and writing and stuff. So were you behind the recording of the first EP and everything, or was that kind of done someone else? Or
so it was, all the pre-production was done by me and Ryan. Ryan has his own studio space, and I do stuff out of my house, or I'll use, we'll rent a studio or whatever. So Ryan and I did all the pre-production for the first record, but that was the final version was recorded and mixed and mastered by a guy named Rolly Ulug, who is a super old friend of ours and Jason's as well, and came up in the same bands and everything. So he's also done stuff for like Stick to Your Guns and a bunch of other really big, really cool bands, Rotting Out. So he did the first record, and then this most recent record, Ryan and I recorded, edited, did all like the front end work, and it was mixed and mastered by a guy named Jeff Dunn, who's a friend of ours. And Jeff has done, he's worked on just about everything, Wage War and Armour and Chelsea Grin and a bunch of awesome, amazing stuff.
Yeah. The name rings a bell, actually, Jeff Dunn. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he's brilliant and a totally awesome dude. And if anybody likes the production of our most recent record, which seems like most people do, if you have a band, I highly recommend you talk to Jeff. He's a good guy to work with, and he's not at all pretentious in any way. Just wants to make ripper recordings that make people want to die.
Nice.
Yeah.
That definitely needs to go on a resume somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So with the recording then, so like obviously Jason, as we mentioned, tours. I mean, last year was pretty much on tour constantly. So how was the recording of that, the 2018 EP?
We, so the first EP we did we recorded all the songs at Rollies, and then Jason was in town for basically a couple days. So he came down and to that studio and knocked those songs out really quickly. And then, we just mixed and mastered it as it was. The newer record was a little bit different. What we did for this one was he was home even less in 2019 than 2018. So we had him basically, if he was in town, we would let him know, like, hey, he would let us know, I'm free on this night. Let's rent this space. Like, even if it's a rehearsal spot, whatever, we would have done it in our car if we had to and just thrown a blanket over his head, and we basically go out there where he comes to us, and we did like one song at a time. So it was like, okay, let's knock this song out this week and you'll be back in a couple weeks. Let's do the next one then. And that's how we did it. So the vocals were actually recorded in several different places, and Jeff, with his wizardry, basically tonally matched them so that every song vocally sounds identical, but in fact was recorded in different spaces.
Ah, okay. That does not come across like the way they were recorded does not come across. It's very well done with that.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's really, really clever with some of that stuff. And aside from that, we made a lot of effort towards tailoring wherever we were recording to try to match the environment that we were tracking in each time to make them all kind of as close to the same as possible, given availability and space and all that. Now, the next thing we do, which will either be kind of a more extended EP or a full length, that'll be different. We'll write and record that all together. That's the goal, at least, because for now, Fever's writing a record, Jason's home for a bit, so we're playing a few shows, and hopefully we can get some stuff down so that we don't have to take such a long break in between releases, because this was about a year and a half, and I think people were getting a little antsy.
Yeah, I mean, the first EP that came out in May 2018, I think it was. I love that EP. I was absolutely buzzing about it, and I was very worried last year when you guys weren't doing much. I was kind of like, I hoped you'd come back and do something. So I was very, very happy when this EP dropped.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because we want to announce things as we're doing them, but because we can't guarantee. So everything we do as a band is completely independent. So Ryan created a label basically to release our first release. Okay. And so if we want to make vinyl, we pay for the vinyl. If we want to, if we want to make shirts, we pay for the shirts. We literally are in a band group text going, what do we do next? Like, what stickers do we want? And do we have enough money? Can we pull together enough money to do this? So everything is so DIY. I'm
having so many flashbacks right now.
Yeah. And part of that is we want to kind of control our own fate. We don't want anybody telling us how or when to write, and we don't want to owe anybody anything, right? And then the other part of it is, with the kind of independent model, we are able to schedule things in a way that is that works for all of us. So, for example, October is a tough month, right? Because that's when all these Halloween things are going on. Yeah. So we don't have anybody telling us we need to be anywhere, we need to do anything during those months. It's understood that those months are off the table. Jason's out of town on tour 9 months a year, whatever it might be. Nobody expects anything of us because we know our own fate, and we control it. We control our timelines. But on the flip side of that, we don't announce that publicly, like on our Facebook. Hey, everybody, we're waiting on this, or we're doing this. So people just kind of wait and hope that the band isn't dead. But it's never, it's constantly, there's stuff going on. It's just all happening kind of behind the scenes. We don't want to announce anything until we know for sure that we're happy with it 1,000,000%, and that requires sign off from everybody. So we don't do anything that not everybody agrees to. So if one person doesn't like it, usually it's off the table. So that's why news is always slow to come out. But, we appreciate anybody caring about what's going on and when things are happening. And we try our best to drop little nuggets here and there.
Yeah, good, man.
I was going to say, talking on like the caring and stuff, like, how's the feedback been on this new EP for you guys?
It's been great. I haven't heard anything bad. And, usually people are pretty quick to shit on stuff if they don't like it. And so far we haven't heard anything negative. It's not like people are really vocally against it, but we're so niche to our own like kind of audience and crowd. We don't have exposure to people that I don't think would enjoy it. And I do really honestly believe, and I think everybody in the band believes, that this is among the best songwriting any of us has ever done. So from a performance perspective and a songwriting perspective, it's everything that we hoped for. The urgency and the quality and all that is as dialed in as any of us have been. So if anybody were, to not like it or to say the first record was better, fucking right on. Like, I'm happy that they even care at all. But we collectively as a band know how much stronger this is. And I'm sure the next thing we write, just like every band says, is the best thing we've ever put out. It's a boring response, but the truth is that's how we feel. And it seems like that's how the people that have listened to it feel as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd agree.
Well,
with that.
you're always going to be, well, as a musician, you're always going to be proudest of your recent kind of achievements, aren't you? More than your past.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, there's still certain things, like we played a couple shows this past weekend that people are really latched onto that first record. Like, that song Be a Wolf, the ending of that song, people just lose their fucking minds, So it's like, for us, seeing that energy from other people kind of renews the songs for us and makes us remember what was special about them in the first place. So that's the other thing that we're kind of doing more of right now, is playing live a little bit more, which definitely gives us a renewed energy and excitement about what we've been putting together and working on and how long we've had to wait to do this.
Yeah. I actually watched a YouTube video of your recent show. I think it was in Fullerton.
Yeah.
And it looked fucking crazy.
Yes, yeah, that's at a place called Program out here, which is a skate shop, but they put on little DIY shows, and like big bands that play there, like Terror and Bane and some pretty large sets. And we, as a band, it's always been, we're friends with the folks that run it. Ephraim from Death by Stereo is one of the owners of that spot. And another guy named Chris helps run that as well. And so we've been trying to get in there for a while once our schedules lined up and the new record was out. And yeah, it was beautiful. It's exactly what we desire as a band from a show, which is small, really out of hand, people kind of losing it. That's our goal 100%. Like, I watched those live from the K-Pit videos from those shows you guys have out there. And it's like, yes, this is ideal for us. We don't want to play Coachella. We don't want to play any of that shit. We want to play small, intimate, angry venues where people can really express themselves, and there's no concern for like tour packages and riders and all that. It's like, fuck all that stuff. Like, let's get out there and play to the people we want to play to most, which would be people who go to a place like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So good. So you got two more coming, haven't you? You've got LA and Garage Ventura, is that right?
Yeah, Ventura. Yeah. So those are with Curl Up and Die, who we all loved when we were younger as well. They're kind of, if you're not familiar, kind of in the vein of a Botch or a Converge, kind of noisy, dissonant hardcore. And they're from the Las Vegas area, which is about 4 hours from Southern California. So they had a big following here. They played a show in Orange County a little bit ago that sold out. It was like a reunion show, and this is their first show back to LA. And, they're an important band to all of us. And, Jason is a bit of a lunatic on stage. Mike Minnick, who sings for Curl Up and Die. I remember I saw them play at a coffee shop called Sacred Grounds in San Pedro, which is just outside of LA, and them getting their set cut short basically because Mike Minnick was running on all the coffee tables like throughout the coffee shop. Just when we were younger, like that's our example is like these crazy performers, and that's how Curl Up and Die was. So they carry a lot of that with them still today, and so we're really excited to play those shows with them. And LA will be a bigger one, because the venue 1720 is like a big proper venue where big hardcore bands play, and then the one in Ventura is a 21 and over show, so it'll be a little smaller because it's in a bar. But we always prefer the all ages stuff because, like I said, we want to resonate with people. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool, man. So, I mean, you seem to have a nice mix of shows coming up and had recently as well. So. Yeah,
we're hoping to get more done during this kind of break, and the vinyl comes out in a couple of weeks. It'll start shipping, so it's already come out and it's up for order now. And so that'll be cool to have those by those shows so we can make sure that the people have access to them, and hopefully do some stuff in March. And then eventually, Fever will hit the road again. We'll have our Halloween season of wildness. Our drummer, this Halloween thing, our drummer builds like a whole facade on the front of his house for Halloween that he hand builds. So all of us have kind of a stake in that season. Yeah. So things slow down a little bit, but we're actually talking about getting out to the UK, and was just talking to Ryan about this, maybe trying to do that in October, somewhere towards the end of the month. So maybe we'll end up spending Halloween with you guys out there.
Nice.
That would be fucking amazing if you could.
Yeah, we're trying. That's the one spot. So we all talked, people ask us when we're going to tour, where we're going to go. One spot that we all agree on for sure that we want to get is the UK. So hopefully we can make that happen in the next year or so. Because we all, like, I personally have a different kind of love for your culture than the rest of my band. Cause like all my wife and I do is watch pirated 8 out of 10 Cats does countdown episodes and Taskmaster and all that stuff. But, but the other guys, we've all been out there and toured out there in other bands. We all love it. So hopefully we can make that happen, like I said, within the next year. And I can hopefully drag my wife to do some quote unquote merch, but also get a secret vacation in.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Sneaky UK vacay.
Yeah, it'd be great. My studio partner at Knott's at the theme park, he's from Leicester, so he always shows me these television shows that his family sends him from back home, and it's always like, oh, it's so much better than the garbage we watch out here. So it's like it would be nice to go back there now, because I haven't been since 2006. So it'd be really cool to get out there and appreciate the culture a little bit more.
Cool, man. That sounds good. So that's I mean, one of the questions we were going to ask is like what you guys look into in 2020. I think you kind of summed it up really. Just more shows and maybe
trying to write some more. Get something out. I mean, maybe even a single. We have some kind of B-side stuff that we haven't released yet, so maybe one of those on a 7-inch, like a split, maybe, or something like that. And then, in a full length, I think, coming up, or at least a longer EP than 4 songs.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff in the pipes, and I look forward to seeing what you've kind of kicking out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, just the good thing is right now, and I think it's true for the East Coast of the United States as well with the Hate 56 guys. And out here we have a guy that runs 197 Media, and there's another group called TNA Media. These people that are documenting shows, you know, and that's so important for the scenes locally, but also for international fans or fans who just can't make it out to the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, hopefully we'll have more of that. So if anybody does want to see us and can't get out to California or can't make it to one of our shows elsewhere, you know, pay attention to those channels and support them however you can, because it's so important now. Because back in the day, you know, the spread of bands and how you found out about stuff was you had to go see them or they were on a bill that you wanted to see. But now, like the first time I ever heard Vane was on a Hate 56 video, and it was like instantly love that band, you know? So like we have to support those channels and make sure that they are getting the love they desire or they need, because or they deserve, I should say, because you know, it helps all of us. It helps the people watching because they get to see something maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to. And it helps the scenes because the bands grow and can get in front of eyes that maybe would have never seen them before, which is really, really a good thing that didn't exist in the past.
Yeah, totally agree.
I think we had like things like the Hellfest DVDs, which back in the day were great, but it's not quite like the reach that like you say, the Hate 56 and stuff like that gets. I think a recent thing was, did they do the Jesus Piece thing from This Is Hardcore, which and insanely blew up.
Yeah, so they do. The cool thing is like, okay, so This Is Hardcore. Yeah, we can watch those sets, which is amazing, right? Because it's this huge crowd and it's really, really cool. But what I most like about the sets they do is when they do smaller, more intimate shows where it's not on this huge stage. It's this smaller, more private, and usually more intense. And the fans are more loyal to that band, so you can really get a feel for the vibe of what it's like to see that band live. So that's the stuff that I really love that we get out of those channels, and in places like Program and spots like that kind of foster that energy. I think can't be overstated how important they are right now in a kind of a weird commercialized scene.
Yeah, man.
I'd agree.
It's one advantage of the nightmare that is social media and stuff like that is the reach it helps bands and stuff, especially on YouTube.
Yeah, it's really strange, you know. It's so different than when we all came up, because like I remember when Suicide Silence, who's a band that, you know, we all grew up with and are friends with those dudes, when they were just playing little sets at Showcase in Corona out here, spots like that, and then they had a MySpace and they released a live video. It's kind of funny because it's exactly what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
they released a video of them performing live, but it was like all cut together, like different shots. It was really well done.
Okay.
Then that video really grew and expanded, and their fan base grew massively. But I remember that being the first time that I saw a Friends band like utilize social media in that way, and how effective it was and how cool it was, and us just going like, how come none of us have done this yet? This is like brilliant, you know?
Yeah.
And just not recognizing the opportunities that it gives us. So now we do, but you know, there's a lot of noise out there, right? So you got to find your crew, the people that want to hear what you want to do. And I think that's worked pretty well for us so far.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good. It helps you reach, obviously, especially because you guys don't get to go out of your area too much. So obviously helps you reach out to reach others in the UK as well.
Yeah. And hopefully, you know, people ask, like I said, when we're going to hit their city or when we're going to go out on the road. Hopefully we can make some of that happen soon. It's something that just from a schedule perspective wasn't that possible the last 2 years, but it also, you know, it didn't make sense to go out with only a 4-song EP, right? So now we have enough songs for a set to perform live regularly. So hopefully it's something we can make happen. And like I said, our main goal or our first stop will hopefully be out there to see you guys.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. All right. I think that takes up the bulk of our normal questions. So if you're happy, we're going to move into some quick fire ones.
Yeah, of course.
So brace yourself.
Okay.
We're going to make you go down some memory lane here. So first gig memory.
My band, I was in a really terrible band. I was 13, and we played at a place called Our House, which was a converted house in Linwood, which is not the best area in LA.
Right.
And it was our first show, and we had 5 songs, and we showed up and realized that we forgot, like, I don't know, our guitarist forgot his guitar or something super important.
Yeah.
So he went all the way home, which was like an hour drive, came all the way back, and we had 10 minutes left to play, or 5 minutes. So we got to play 2 songs, and it was complete garbage. You know, it was terrible. But that's the first real gig where we played at a venue. It wasn't like somebody's house, and it was a complete disaster. But, you know, we got the worst out of the way first. So it could only get better from there.
Yeah. I mean, no one ever has a first good gig, do they?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We got, especially when you're 13 and you don't really know. I had super baggy pants on. I just looked like an asshole. It was great.
Nothing but flashbacks in this episode.
Yeah.
Looking back at my childhood.
Pretty much. So, you kind of the same thing. What was the first gig you went to? Like, as a
So that's difficult to say. So my dad was a big, long hair, metalhead kind of 80s cock rock guy. So I was raised when I was real young, 5 years old. We were going to the Whiskey and all these places on the Sunset Strip, dudes in leather with long hair dressed in their wife's clothes or whatever. And I remember I went to a Christian school. Like, I went to a private school when I was in first grade or kindergarten or whatever. And they sent me home. They called my grandparents to pick us up because my dad was working. And they're like, "We think your kids, my brother and I, have been drinking and smoking." And it was because the night before we were at one of these, the Whiskey or one of these places. And, everybody back then smokes indoors. They're all drinking, and we just stunk, we just smelled bad. And he ended up marrying my stepmom at the Whiskey as well. So we were at a lot of shows real young. But the first show I ever went to without a parent was actually an orgy show. This little venue out here in Santa Ana that was called the Galaxy, and now it's called the Observatory. So I went and saw orgy when I was like 13 with my friends, and I remember they made us there was like rules at the venue that you had to, with your ticket, you had to order a dinner and 2 drinks, like almost like a comedy show. And so I remember eating like teriyaki chicken, watching the band I wanted to see. It was terrible, but that was the first one with like no parents, no parental guidance.
That's the weirdest thing I've heard.
Yeah, it was awful. So I had like two Coca-Colas and teriyaki chicken. I'm like 13 years old, super stoked about watching this band that I love while I'm like cutting my chicken to eat it. It was the worst. It's the fucking worst.
Did you take the chicken into the pit? That's the question.
No, I didn't. So that venue back then, it doesn't anymore, but it wasn't general admission. So we couldn't even go into the pit if we wanted to, even though the place only holds like, I don't know, 1,000 people or 800 people. They still separated like, oh, this is the seated area and this is the pit area, and the seated area had little tables so people could order their dinner. It's the dumbest thing.
That's so weird. Never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Next one. First album you bought.
I remember buying Green Day Dookie and the Presidents of the United States of America's self-titled album or whatever. The one with Lump. Yeah. Those 2 are the first 2 that I really remember. I do remember getting a Boys to Men cassette
Nice.
when I was real young, which I guess doesn't really foreshadow what my musical taste would become very well.
No, yeah.
But yeah, those are the things I remember most.
Fair dues. On to another first then. Do you remember what your first band t-shirt was or band merch?
Yeah, I had a Doors shirt that my mom gave me. So my mom passed away when I was real young, and she left my brother and I a bunch of stuff, like, you know, we had pins and stuff. But I remember particularly the shirt was this Doors shirt, and I wore it to bed every night, you know, when I was like 4 years old, because it was huge on me because I was tiny.
Mhm.
But that's the first band shirt that I can remember having. Other than that, like from a like a hardcore scene perspective, probably like a throwdown shirt or a Taken shirt or something like that I bought at some show that I didn't have enough money for, and they might have just given to me because we were all poor.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nice. Going back to the musical thing, so what is the most surprising song on your playlist right now?
Oh boy. It's kind of weird because I have to research music for like kids shows all the time. And I just made my band listen to it. I'm trying to remember the name of the band, but there's this song called the Shrimp Song or something like that.
Okay.
That is, if you just Google the Shrimp Song, you'll find it. And it is awesome and really weird. But that's probably the weirdest thing. And it's just because, like I said, all day we're trying to find content at a theme park for little kids or for horror things. So there's like a lot of movie soundtracks on there. From a pop perspective, like something that people would have heard, that Juice song from Lizzo is amazing. You know, stuff like that's really, really good. But I don't know how surprising that is, because who doesn't think that's really good?
Yeah, true. It's very true.
Yeah.
So I think you might have kind of already answered this previously, and because you mentioned you're a bit of an Anglophile. What's your favourite British TV show?
You know, it started out with like Top Gear, but I think now it's probably Taskmaster. It just depends on the mood that my wife and I are in and what we can find on YouTube or elsewhere. We watch, like, if it's been a particularly shitty day, we'll watch like 8 out of 10 Cats. We really like the like biggest quiz of the year, you know, the quizzes.
Oh, Big Fat Quiz of the Year.
Yeah. We like
show.
those a lot too. They're like, it's just TV for people who have shitty day jobs that need to come home and listen to a bunch of people talk shit on each other. My wife really loves the Bake Off show.
Oh yeah.
To the point that, like, she'll get real invested and she'll cry when people get, you know, kicked off and stuff. And she'll talk about, like, oh, that Paul Hollywood's so handsome. So she likes that a lot. But for me, it's probably Taskmaster. It's just, you know, I like the lunacy. I need it in my soul.
That is. Yeah, so one good thing we do as British people is make good panel shows, I guess.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't really exist out here, or when they try to do it, like they tried to do a US Taskmaster. It ran for one season and Alex Horn was involved in everything, but we just are shitty at appreciating that, you know, like they would rather watch the Kardashians or horrible people be horrible rather than funny people make fun of each other.
Yeah. I mean, people taking the piss out of each other is probably better than anything.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. That's pretty much like my wife and I's relationship. So it works out well for us.
The British have a talent, and it's generally taking the piss out of each other.
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's so, you know, it's so like honest and I think maybe that's a difference. Now, I've never met like a proper British celebrity, right? So I don't know if this is true, but like it seems to me that American celebrities tend to take themselves very seriously and British celebrities tend to not take themselves very seriously. And if they do, other British celebrities make fun of them.
Oh yeah.
That's the impression that I get.
Yeah, I think that's just a general British culture. If you don't take yourself too seriously, we'll rip the shit out of you for doing so.
Yeah.
And even if you don't,
Yeah,
we'll
it's like
still
to
do it.
It's to the point that like my wife and I have said maybe one day we'll just move there because like we feel like we fit in with that culture so much better.
Yeah, it's all right here.
It sounds like it's cold. So.
It's yes,
typically yeah.
Always cold. Moving on then to the next one. So, what's your favorite brand right now?
Favorite band or brand?
Band, sorry.
Oh shit, I don't know. Like Deftones is my desert island choice. You know,
good choice.
I listen to a lot of Northlane. From I don't know. It's hard to say. Like it depends on my mood. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, I want to listen to like Radiohead or Album Leaf or stuff that's a little calmer, and sometimes I want to punch everything. So it really depends on the mood. But yeah, it's everything from Deftones to like Philip Glass. You know, it just depends on the mood.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, the next one, I think we kind of already know this. But the question would be, what would you do if you're not in a band? I feel like you kind of already do that, unless you're not.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like anybody. Like I always tell people all the time, like whatever you like, right? If you're gonna do it, try to figure out a way that you can get paid to do it, even if it's not that much money. You know, and even if it's not what you originally planned. Like I was like, I'm gonna be a recording engineer. And then I started recording bands all the time, and I realized doing that every day is really difficult. Like it's difficult on your patience. It's difficult to be really good at it and to be competitive with it. But I also loved theme parks. So, and I grew up by Knott's Berry Farm. So I applied for a job there and I started working there, and I still get to record stuff all day, every day. It's just in a different avenue than I originally intended, but it actually worked out better because I'm so much happier doing it. You know, it's just, you find ways, right, to do what you love and hopefully get paid a couple of bucks for it. And even if they didn't pay me, I'd still show up and still do it because it's what I love to do. You know, like that's the beauty of that gig.
Yeah. Good on you, man. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a day job that isn't that does pay the bills, you know.
Yeah.
So I do have luckily I have a supportive wife, you know, who's like, okay, go do your stupid guy shit, go have fun. Like, she's good with it, you know. So luckily I have that as well.
That's always good.
Yeah,
always. So the last quick fire question, we always ask everyone we've interviewed, and we have this common debate because Paul is from Leeds, and me and Gareth live in Manchester, so we always ask someone, which is better, Leeds or Manchester? I don't know how familiar you are with these cities.
So I've played in both.
Okay, great.
But I couldn't give you details because it was the kind of thing where we had this guy driving us, and he drove us to the shows because we don't know how to drive on the wrong side of the road like you guys do. So he drove us there. And then he was real mean, so we weren't allowed to explore or see anything. Here's what I remember about my time there. Okay, is that we played in Milton Keynes.
Okay, yeah.
And you know, people say like, "Watch out for the chavs," and we're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Because that's not a thing, right? In the United States. I mean, kids suck, but they don't suck that much. And we went into our dressing room. And there was kids going through our bags, and then they grabbed shit and they tried to run away. But Mike Milford, who sang for Scars of Tomorrow and is this big kind of hulking dude, he grabbed a bat. He had a bat, and he pointed it at one of the kids. Or no, one of the kids had a bat, and he just took it from him because he's a scary guy. Yeah. And he just yelled at him, you know, drop our shit. And I think they ended up stealing some bags of chips or something. But so like my idea of touring the UK, I don't know if Manchester or Leeds is better. I just know that the kids in Milton Keynes are dicks and they stole our chips. But I do know that I have friends that support Manchester United and they're all assholes too. So I have to say Leeds is better.
Yes.
Damn it.
And you can blame your football team for that.
I don't even like that football team.
No, from Manchester
I feel like You can tell me if this is true or not, but I feel like Manchester's far more popular than Leeds. Is that wrong?
I always thought so, but this is the third time we've asked this question, and everyone said Leeds so far. So now,
I think it would be like saying what's better, Portland or LA. Like, there's a lot more people in LA, but nobody really likes LA. Mm. Everybody's going to say Portland because it's cool and weird, and there's hippies there, and So I don't know. I couldn't tell you for sure. Maybe when we get out there next time, I can make a proper judgment.
Yeah. That's probably that would be best. So,
yeah, I'm taking it. You said Leeds. I'm having it.
What do you guys? Well, you tell me. What do you guys think? Honestly, what do you guys think?
I mean, I love Manchester. I always have. I mean, but I'm from here. I mean, the music history alone is fantastic. But I do tend to spend a lot of time in Leeds, which is
interesting.
I mean, that's where all the good gigs are. So
yeah, we definitely have the better hardcore
thing. The thing that's weird to me or interesting to me, I was talking to Adam, the guy I work with at Knott's that's from there, is essentially your country can fit almost in our state. Mm-hmm. So the idea that like Leeds and Manchester are, a couple hours drive, or I don't know how far apart, but pretty close.
Yeah.
I was talking to Brady from Conjure. I recorded some vocals for him for something. And he said like, oh, people won't even drive an hour to a gig. And we're like, that's the minimum drive because everything's so spread out. Like if I want to go to LA for a show, I technically live in a suburb of LA, but it would take me an hour minimum to get there. Yeah. That's just, I drive 40 minutes to my job. So the idea that you guys are close, like they're not that far apart, and that there's these like rivalries is funny to me because for us, it's like everything is so far apart that there actually are cultural differences. Doesn't seem like you guys are that far apart to me, but again, I don't really know because I don't live there.
No, yeah, I mean, I've heard that before, like in America, where it's you want to go to a show, it's always like an hour away or something, and they just drive. The drives are just nothing to you guys. Like, yeah, I drive an hour, it's whatever. Yeah, but over here it's like, an hour away.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. He told me it's hard, like, to get support beyond a certain area and stuff because people don't want to drive, which is hilarious to me. But I guess, it's how you guys have developed really, obviously, specific cultural identities where you have to ask that question of who's better. It's funny to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's just me and Paul who are competitive, but the counties divide is quite competitive. Yorkshire versus Lancashire, Greater Manchester. We're all quite competitive here, I think.
Yeah, well, the guy I work in the studio with at Knott's, he's always shitting on everybody else. And it's like a 30-minute drive away from him. And he's like trying to explain to me like, oh, this is the Midlands. Like, this isn't, whatever the fuck you guys call it. He's just like, shits on people that are from the north, shits on people that are from the south, because it's in the middle. It's like, is that like a good enough reason? You're in the middle.
Good enough for us.
But yeah, and then the other thing he does is just make fun of everybody trying to do accents. He's like, that's a Midlands accent. He's supposed to be from London. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're saying. They all sound like wizards to me.
We are all wizards, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that before. Yeah, that's what I've heard at least. That's the rumor.
It's just one big Harry Potter country. It's fine. Yeah.
I feel like that must be the worst. Like that. The crazy thing is, every big American actor is actually secretly British, and nobody knows it because they all do really good American accents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no Americans do good British accents. So it's even worse because your best exports of actors are just playing American people instead of, vice versa. But yeah, that's one of those weird things that I guess you have over us is that you breed a much finer actor than we do.
Well, I'm just happy that we evolved past the stage where all British people are villains in movies, so I'll take that.
Yeah, now they're all the heroes. Every Marvel hero is basically British. It's crazy.
Pretty much. I'll take it.
Star Wars, right? Star Wars 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you guys have taken over. This tiny place has taken over all of the superhero roles. Thanks, Harry Potter.
Fucking Harry Potter, man. What a bastard.
That's great.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's it then. Cheers very much, Dan.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having us or having me. And like I said, hopefully we can get out there and see you. Maybe we can do this in person.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, and also when you come over here, I guarantee there might be a chance that you will play Leeds and Manchester if you do a tour. And you play in two cities that are in 45 minutes drive of each other, and you'll probably think that's ridiculous, but it'll probably happen.
And I will judge each of them accordingly.
Yes,
and
please.
Report back.
Yeah, I'd like it.
Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. Yeah, go ahead.
Cheers. Sorry. Do you want to tell people where they can find you everywhere on the internet and all that shit?
Yeah. So Pressure Cracks, you can find on Instagram, Facebook. It's just at Pressure Cracks. We have a website, pressurecracks.com, where you can get links to all of our merch, our new record. We released new shirts and stuff, some new long sleeves through there. Unfortunately, this is something we actually talked about before. We don't have international distribution, so you have to pay higher cost shipping. But again, that's a result of us doing everything ourselves. Maybe down the line here, we'll get something hooked up where we can get stuff produced out there and it'll be a lot cheaper for you. Otherwise, if we tour out there, come see us, and you can pick up the merch directly from us. Otherwise, my Instagram is Grandma's Boy, GRAMMASBOY. Feel free to yell at me and talk shit or whatever you might want to do, or try to educate me better on my United Kingdom subcultures.
That's fair. I'll probably do that.
Very good.
Nice. Right. Thank you very much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Yes. Take care, man.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, yeah, that was our chat with Dan from Pressure Cracks. What a fucking dude.
Proper dude.
Proper dude.
Proper dude.
Yeah. Milton
I mean,
Keynes,
he
right?
likes books, so,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I get to enjoy these podcasts from an outsider when we do these interviews. Fucking, I was not expecting to enjoy a story which involved a bag of, I guess in this case, call them chips, Milton Keynes.
Crisps.
Yeah, Milton Keynes and some chavs. Fuck me, mate. Like,
Yeah. Generally, I think once this interview, and my first interview was Shane Bricks, but he's just such a nice guy. I think him talk about I think it's for me, talk about being in the band, say, was it Self-A-Play, sort of selling tickets to play and all this kind of stuff. And his baggy jeans and all this shit was that was me 20 years ago.
oh, and once again, as an outsider listening to you guys do that interview, the how much the two of you must have related, and also the silent pops you both had because both Botch and Every Time I Die got mentioned. I could actually hear your erections at one point.
Yes.
Well done for keeping it under wraps.
Yep.
But no, I noticed. Don't you worry.
I don't think I was that sort of when he mentioned Botch. I went yes.
Yeah, you did. You did lay out an audible. Yes. No. What
nice guy.
a absolutely amazing guy. We can't thank him enough for getting on because it was an absolute delight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm excited to see that they are hoping to get to the UK as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait to see these guys live.
I mean, I just want him to get to the UK in general because it sounds like he really wants to come here.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully he'll come to Manchester and prefer over Leeds.
Do you know what you should have done to sweeten the deal to make sure he comes to Manchester? Because I'm pretty sure they actually do film 8 out of 10 casters countdown in Manchester.
Yeah.
So I may have swayed him on the Leeds-Manchester debate.
He mentioned out of 10 cats to countdown. I was like, should I mention 8 out of 10 cats the normal show?
Yeah.
I was like, do I mention the countdown one? Or will that just make it worse? Because that's more confusing than the normal show. Because that's really British.
No, he did. He mentioned the 8 out of 10 casters countdown.
Yeah, did he mention the countdown?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just said the normal countdown.
No,
The
he
normal show.
motherfucker's in the know. He is deep into the British panel shows.
Dan, if you ever come to the UK, I'll take you to the show. Right? It's fine.
Get your tickets.
No, but I think it's just it's cool. For me, I really enjoyed it because it's just that theme park work. I love theme parks. And he's Not British Farm. I'm like, Not British Farm. That's a famous theme park.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, tell me more. This is fucking super fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's weirdly.
I could have spent hours talking about.
Yeah, it's a weird random Welsh motherfucker. I know those parks. I don't know why. Probably because I watch too much like American TV shows.
It's they're fucking massive. Like they're like one of the originals. But yeah, super cool guy. Really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Kind of follow up on the back end of you. If you've not yet checked out Pressure Cracks EP, please go check it out. That last EP was fucking phenomenal. The first EP was also fantastic. More raw, but still good.
And if you think we're just sucking this band's dick because now we've got to do an interview, no. Go back before that and you will hear us suck this band's dick off so hard because goddamn Pressure Cracks are releasing phenomenal music. And it's well worth every boy's time.
And I relate because they're all 30 and overweight, apparently.
Everybody's going like,
Music
we're married.
You don't have to, like, as a currently a 26-year-old, like, don't worry, you don't have to be, like, overweight and middle-aged. You can also enjoy it in your 20s.
Yeah. I think it's more like the fact that, like, a band like this, especially with, like, you got, like, I didn't want to bring this into it too heavily, but with Jason Butler's the vocalist. And now, obviously, that's a name now in the scene with Fever and Let Live and everything.
Yeah, I'm sure they're aware. It's unmistakable that name.
But that's it. To be them to be so DIY.
Yeah, totally.
It's insane. Like they've all got full-time jobs and they're just slugging away, doing their everyday 9 to 5 sort of shit, and then still plugging out great fucking music.
It's so commendable, isn't it? And done so fucking well.
Yeah, and to put like they have to put their own music out on their own record label and everything else. Just support this band how you can. Like, check them out, give them a like on Facebook, whatever. They definitely deserve it.
And if any UK distributors are listening and want to get their stuff over here, please do. Because I'm not paying 50 quid to ship a t-shirt.
You say but yeah, me
me and Gareth are in talks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are putting an order in, I will definitely put in towards it.
I mean, fucking hell, man. If I'm putting money down on goddamn my Chem, like, I mean, I can throw some money at Pressure Cracks.
But no, the thing that I loved about the, like, talking to Dan the most is like just the parallels in like my upbringing and like listening to those kind of bands and then forming bands from it.
Yeah.
And like still being around the same age and still wanting to play that kind of music. It's like, it's just, oh man, it just makes me happy knowing that there are people out there that think about music the same way I do.
I enjoyed the fact that, like, it was like the two things I enjoyed was like he was talking about like play for sale tickets, like they play shows, but then he like dropped the hot name like Suicide Silence and stuff like that. Whereas I go, do you know Curses from Leeds?
No one does.
No, do you know Plagues from Manchester? It's just like the fact that it's like, yeah, I drive half like an hour to a show. It's like, oh, but I've got to go to Leeds. It's such a fucking mooch. I can't be arsed. It's just the contrast is.
Yeah, he did do a great job of highlighting how lazy the British
we're terrible.
fan culture is.
And how we all hate each other.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see that band. They're in Leeds.
The British are lazy and we hate everybody, and that's why we're doing Brexit. Yeah. So, on that note...
one final thing I do want to say. Badger.
Yeah.
3-0, mate.
Oh, fuck you, man. Well, eventually we'll...
Also, yeah, can I, on that note, can you stop lumping me into the Manchester lot?
No.
I live here, but for the record, my vote will go for Leeds as well.
But you've lived here long enough to technically part of Manchester now. So.
Have you never lived somewhere which you didn't like before?
Yeah. Where I live now.
Stop.
She moved to Leeds, mate. It's great, apparently.
Anyway.
Anywho.
That's it for this week. Thank you very, very much for listening. We appreciate it. Sorry, burping. If you want to give us a hand, please follow us on Twitter at LoudNoisePodUK. Follow us on Facebook. Just search for Loud Noise Podcast. It'll probably come up. If it doesn't, then forget about it.
Just go on with your life.
Yeah. Also, you can leave us an iTunes review. I'm a bit confused about this because I went out a few times this week and the stars have disappeared. And I don't know if that's my thing. But leave us an iTunes review anyway, because it might help us in the algorithm unless they've changed it. If they have changed it, fuck you, iTunes. You shit.
Just put some gold stars on a letter and post it to us. Does the exact same thing for the algorithm, I'm sure.
If you want to literally just send me a well done sticker, that'd be great. I need vindication.
Yeah.
And just hit us up.
Yeah. Remember, people, we don't want your money. We just want your love.
And I'm up for just tweet at me just saying, Badger, you're a cunt. And I go, yes, mate. Let's have a chat.
Also, we're on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Please check us out on there.
Subscribe, like, and comment. Is that what you're doing on
Punch
YouTube?
that bell.
Yeah, it's all about
Punch
bell
that bell
end things now.
Punch your bell end and give us a punch your bell end and subscribe.
I think we nailed. I think that's it.
Yeah,
we're
that's
doing
it.
it
We're
YouTube
nailed.
now.
Oh my God,
Punch
we're
your bell
YouTube.
end.
Yeah. Punch your bell end, douche.
Douche. Oh, God.
The hell's back. Thank you very, very much for listening, guys. We'll see you next week with more of this shit. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I'm so sorry.